Trenton Skinner, and the Blue Jay offense comes back onto the field for the second time.
Yeah, and how many times? You know, obviously you had the turnover to the first possession open on the interception, so that's a good thing for the Blue Jays. How many times has this Guthrie team had to rely on that defense to gain momentum in a game? They had to do it this last possession, and the defense did a great job getting a 3-and-out.
Kay Gugasberg and Marcellus Owens, the receivers, to the far side. First down and 10 from the Guthrie 24. Gavin Bryson in the backfield with Jackson Waddell. It's a lead play for the quarterback across the 25 to the 30. Near side cuts it up to the 35, moving the ball across the 40 and down to the 41-yard line.
Out with a bunch of receivers, and the blocker you get a hole alongside the left side of that offensive line for Jackson Waddell.
First down and 10, hand off to Gavin Bryson. Yards. So the Jays will have about a third down and 4 play. 9:16 to play. Opening quarter. No score. Guthrie, Shawnee.
If you think this.
I'm Mike Gundy, head football coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Schmark in between the 46 and 47-yard line. Blue Jays need midfield exactly. 3 receivers set for quarterback Jackson Waddell, and the Shawnee Wolves will jump off sides, and the Blue Jays will have the first down via the penalty.
A dead ball, encroachment here.
Referee tonight is Reggie Redwine, umpire Kyle Carnes, head linesman Devin Simpson, the line judge Francis Nolt, and the back judge is Mick Hart.
This sets up as misdirection back to the right and/or play action, Marcellus in the slot.
First down and 10 from the Shawnee 49. Jackson, quick pass. It's caught by Gonzalez. Fumbles the football. Ball's loose on the field, and Shawnee has it at their own 40. Shaw, the running back here in the pistol formation. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Ball's on the right hash mark in front of the Guthrie sideline.
Last week, Shawnee lines up with the trips formation to the wide side of the field, and that is the formation that Enid was in the entire game last week. So Guthrie exactly knew how to blow that play up.
8 minutes to play in the first quarter. 4 receivers set, 2 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Second down and 11 from the 45 near side through the hands of the intended receiver, Scott Covey. Got a lot of playing time a year ago as a freshman, Phil. 5'7", 140-pound sophomore. Expecting big things out of him here in his sophomore campaign.
Yeah, I mean, this kid's a sure-handed kid. Freshman last year, like you said, still caught around, I think it was, 40 balls or so?
Yeah, 35.
But, yeah, looks good on the field, runs good routes. Be a big-time player.
Sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. Do the right thing.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood in 17 ATM locations across 4 Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbank.com.
Sticks out because he was the one in coverage, but I think whenever you look back on
Is in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor.
he brought a blitz with Troy Branson. He had a 6-man rush and still could not get to the quarterback.
Jones looking for Keenan Webb. Has a step on the receiver. Jones looking for Keenan Webb, has a step on the receiver, and it's good at the 10. 5, touchdown, Guthrie Bluejays. And the Guthrie Bluejays are state champions for the first time in school history, and they are celebrating on the field.
The following is a production of Guthrie Football, 4-time state champions.
Staley gets the snap. He's running with it left side. Touchdown, Blue Jays. Guy Staley and the Blue Jays regain the lead.
Next time that I talk to you, I will be talking to the greatest team in Guthrie High School history.
The Blue Jays are looking to add yet another gold ball made of Guthrie blue.
Ryan Dutton takes the snap, and there you have it. The 2011 Class 5A state champions are your very own Guthrie Blue Jays for the third time in school history, and they have dashed onto the field.
Motion to the left side. They run to the left side with Alexander. Across the 5, to the 1. Touchdown, Ida Alexander.
And for the fourth time in school history, the Guthrie Blue Jays are your Class 5A state champions, and strike up the band one final time.
One thing that will never be replaced is MTXE. Mental toughness, extra effort.
It's being determined to win in the face of all odds, all obstacles, and coming together as a unit to accomplish that.
Year after year, the Blue Jay offense is amongst the most prolific offenses in all of Class 5A.
Option reverse to Callens. Callens looking for throw. Wide open Blaze Hastings. Can they connect? He does. Touchdown Blue Jays. Reverse pass. And the Blue Jays are on the board. Strike up the band.
It's that time again. It's time for Blue Jay football.
Hit hard. Landry Chapel gets every Blue Jay fan off their seat.
It's now.
Strike up the band.
On the Guthrie Radio Network.
Guthrie football. Open up minds. It's time to go.
Launch authorization received. Countdown sequence initiated.
3, 2, 1.
Guthrie Blue Jay Football 2017 is brought to you by Terra Insure Group, insuring your world. Interbank, what's going on now at your hometown bank? Golden Chick, the original and still the best. John Vance Auto Group, where it's comfortable to buy a car. Mercy, your life is our life's work. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the toughest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Eskridge Chevrolet, a name you can trust for over 50 years. Guthrie Blue Jay Football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, Merritt Roberts Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Sonic on Highway 33 and I-35, Guthrie Tag Agency, and Hayes Funeral Home. Welcome to Guthrie Football.
The following is a production of Guthrie Football, spanning across the Blue Jay Radio Network.
Throws it up for Dante Foster in a triple coverage. Oh my goodness! Are you kidding me?
Now, let's go live to the stadium with the voice of the Blue Jays, Chris Evans, and tonight's Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show.
The Guthrie Blue Jays are back inside Jelsma Stadium for the third straight game, and the tallest challenge of the season is here, wearing red and white. Good evening, I'm Chris Evans, and welcome to the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show for tonight's home contest between the Guthrie Blue Jays and the rival Carl Albert Titans. Thanks for joining us as you listen across north central Oklahoma on Hot 93.7 FM and around the globe on Guthrie Sports Page, Guthrie News Page, or on the Guthrie News Page mobile app. Be sure to stop in and visit Interbank at 224 East Oklahoma or visit Interbank on the web at interbank.com. Member FDIC. Coming up in moments, my partners, Casey Porter, Phil Nichols, and Craig Fleck join me, and we take a look at this Week 4 district game between the Jays and Titans. The Blue Jays are coming off a bye week and are 1-2 this season, including a home win 2 weeks ago against Ponca City. Meanwhile, the defending 5A state champion Titans are a perfect 3-0 with wins over 3 tradition-rich programs in Lawton, Ada, and Ardmore. Although Gary Rose is no longer on the Titans sideline, Carl Albert brings star players on both sides of the ball. More on that in a moment. Time for opening timeout. After these short messages, Casey joins me as we take a look at some of the other big games in the state of Oklahoma. You're listening to the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show on the Blue Jay Radio Network.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank.
You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
Stay tuned. Next up, Casey goes inside the Oklahoma Farm Bureau Coaches Corner with Blue Jay head coach Kelly Beebe when the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show returns.
For decades, Guthrie Athletics has been a source of pride in the Guthrie community. Hi, I'm Merritt Roberts, and I've been a Blue Jay supporter and Farm Bureau agent for many, many years. I want to wish all the Guthrie student athletes not only a great season on the field, course, track, or court, but in the classroom as well. If integrity, honesty, and accessibility are important to you, call Farm Bureau at 620-4920 and ask for Merritt. I would welcome the opportunity to give you a professional evaluation of your insurance needs, or simply stop by and let's talk about the Jays.
Welcome back to the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show and the Oklahoma Farm Bureau Coaches Corner. Oklahoma Farm Bureau is your central location for all of your insurance needs. Contact Merritt Roberts at 282-2266. That's at Oklahoma Farm Bureau. Oklahoma Farm Bureau living beside you, working for you. We now bring in the Blue Jay head coach, Kelly Beebe, and we talk about tonight's game, and we talk about the off week, something that 0 week has given this program in the last couple of years. First of all, let's talk about, Coach, it's an off week. Coaches approach that differently. Some coaches give their kids a whole bunch of time off. Some don't. But I know that you went back and worked on fundamentals.
Yeah, we spent the actual bye week, kind of dedicated to Guthrie, to areas of improvement that we needed to see after our first 3 ball games. And we're in a really good place, from a mental standpoint, coming off a really good 48-0 win over Ponca City in a ball game that was pretty pivotal for us. And the kids executed extremely well in that game, and just tried to have a continuation of the fundamentals of the game and doing things to improve ourselves as football players. And then obviously, starting Monday of this week, we were very specific to Carl Albert.
I know this is your second bye week, Coach. Last year you came off a loss. This year you're coming off of a win. I know that had to make the off week a little bit easier for you, didn't it?
Well, it did. We were able to reinforce some things that the kids were able to do prior to the Ponca City game. That with the number of young players we have on the field as far as experience, kind of made sense to them. Kind of opened their eyes a little bit more. Everybody always wants to do the big things, but the little things are what separates the teams. And I think that was a real big mental boost for our team, sitting on a win for 2 weeks and then knowing we have a great opponent, Carl Albert, coming, so it's pretty easy to get their attention.
You're through 3 weeks. You're through 3 weeks. Non-district play's over. Now it's all for good, Coach. It counts now. Do you like where this program's at going into district?
Yeah, Coach, I do. We're starting to get a little bit healthy. We may have the services of Isaac Lewis in a limited role tonight. Our offensive line's beginning to gel a little bit. I've been pleased with our defensive line play. Most of the season they'll have a big challenge tonight. But overall, we knew this was a ball club that was going to have to mature throughout the season, and knew this was a ball club that was going to have to continue to improve on a weekly basis, to achieve our goals of reaching the playoffs and having a chance at a run. And to this point, the credit of the kids and the coaches, they maintain a good positive mental attitude, and we feel like we have improved on a daily basis, and obviously we're going to get a big chance to show that against the Carl Albert Titans.
We'll pause, fans, but don't go away. Next up, Chris will rejoin us, and when he does, he'll bring us tonight's opponent preview, and he'll talk about tonight's opponent, the vaunted Carl Albert Titans. That's when the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show from the Guthrie Radio Network continues in a moment.
If it has to do with cars, trucks, RVs, motorcycles, or boats, the Guthrie Tag Agency can do it all. Hello, friends. This is Chris Evans, the voice of the Guthrie Bluejays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new, friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my Pike Pass and car needs so I can follow the Bluejays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division.
The Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show continues next with the Golden Age Nursing Home opponent preview.
Sports, a powerful force in our society. Through sports, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes impacts the young people of our nation. Our ministry offers them faith, integrity, and values in the face of an often confusing world. What we all have in common is our love for Jesus Christ and our desire to share our faith with others. Because as long as there are sports, there will be a Fellowship of Christian Athletes. To learn more, call 1-800-289-0909 or visit fca.org.
Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show continues on Hot 93.7 FM. For a full range of healthcare services and a commitment to quality, call Golden Age Nursing Home at 282-0144. Tonight's meeting between the Jays and Titans will be the 38th all-time between the two schools, with Carl Albert holding the series record 21-16, including last year's 45-7 win to snap the Jays' 6-game win streak over the Titans. Head coach Mike Corley took over the program after Rose announced his retirement following last season. Rose finished with a 219-60 record in 22 years and 10 state titles. However, Corley has been an instrumental part of the Titans' run over the last years as the defensive coordinator. Carl Albert enters tonight's game with a perfect 3-0 record and #1 ranking. The 3 wins come against tradition-rich programs in Lawton, Ada, and Ardmore. Leading the offensive charge is running back Dadrian Taylor, who ranks as the state's top rusher with 788 yards to go with 9 touchdowns. That equals out to a ridiculous 262 yards per game. As a sophomore, he rushed for 1,269 yards and 13 scores. When the Titans decide to go to the air, they like to highlight Jason Taylor. The senior has hauled in 11 receptions for 158 yards and 1 score. Last year, during the Titans' 11-1 season, he grabbed 37 footballs for 674 yards, but he specializes on the defensive side of the ball and has committed to play college football at Oklahoma State. Diego Richards, who had a coming-out party against the Jays 2 years ago, and Jaden Poole helped relieve some of the pressure from Jason Taylor at the wide receiver position. Quarterback Carter LaValle went down with a broken collarbone before week 1 in a scrimmage, but freshman Ben Harris has held his own until LaValle can return, which could come as early as tonight. Harris is completing 63% of his passes with 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. The Titans offense averages 303 yards on the ground and 144 yards through the air. This is the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show.
She's your mom, and you want to do your best. And at Golden Age Nursing Home and Ash Street Senior Living, we know just how difficult it is to make choices when it comes to your loved one's needs, and we can help. You'll find caring, supportive staff members and a full range of healthcare services. You'll also find a commitment to quality throughout all of our nursing home and healthcare agencies. Call Golden Age Nursing Home at 282-0144 or Ash Street Senior Living at 282-2000. You want to do your best, and so do we.
Fans, it's almost time for kickoff. On the other side, Coach Beebe returns to the Oklahoma Farm Bureau Coaches Corner and shares his final thoughts on tonight's game.
John Vance Auto Group is proud to be a sponsor of Guthrie High School football.
Well, the reason we feel like we can price better, the automotive business is very unique in the fact that everybody that buys a car from General Motors, Ford, or Chrysler, any of them, pay the same price. The overhead is what determines the lowest you can sell a car for. And we feel like we operate on a lower overhead. We don't have to spend the hundreds of thousands of dollars a month advertising to get customers to come back. We have our customers out advertising for us through our ambassador program.
John Vance Auto Group.
Welcome back to the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show and the Oklahoma Farm Bureau Coaches Corner. Oklahoma Farm Bureau is your central location for all of your insurance needs. As always, call Merritt Roberts. That's at 282-2266 at Oklahoma Farm Bureau. Oklahoma Farm Bureau looking beside you, working for you. Now, as we promised, bring back in the Blue Jay head coach, Kelly Beebe, and we finish our conversation with him. And, Coach, anytime you talk about Carl Albert, you used to say Gary Rose. Of course, he retired last year, but we talk about all the state titles, you know, that they continue that on by hiring their defensive coordinator. So you talk about the tradition, then you got to talk about the 2 Taylors, right? They're pretty special, one on each side of the ball.
Well, absolutely. Coach Corley down there is filling in or stepping in for Coach Rose. You know, he's been a part of that program for 14 years. You know, he knows how to keep the train on the tracks. And Carl Albert coming off a state championship a year ago, which was Coach Rose's 10th. has a very veteran ball club. They've got 10 seniors on defense, and they've got 8 that they play on offense. They're starting quarterbacks out right now. They've managed to go 3-0 with a freshman quarterback. They've got some real difference makers all over the football field. Dadrian Taylor at tailback, number 16, is as fine a back as you'll see. And then they've got Jason Taylor, who's OSU commitment on the edge, who also plays in the defensive secondary. They're very well coached and typical Carl Albert team. This has been a great rivalry over the years. We've kind of had the better of it the last 6-7 years. I think from 2010 to 2015, Guthrie was able to get the wins over Carl Albert, and of course we go down and turn it over a couple times last year against that great team they had and get beat. So always look forward to playing the Titans. A lot of respect for that program, a lot of respect for the coaches and their kids, and they're the number 1 team in the state right now, defending state champions, and it's just a great opportunity for our kids at the Rock to go out and measure themselves and really just cut it loose, have fun, and go play.
This game used to be at the end of the season, and it was always for a district title. It was always the game of the week. Lots of hoopla this week. You have news coverage coming in early in the morning before school even starts covering this thing. But how do you like it being the first week of district?
Well, again, the way our schedule's set up the last 2 years, we've got 3 6A opponents in our first 3 ball games. Then we jump right in with Carl Albert and Bishop McGinnis. So it's a true gauntlet for our kids. The challenge is to stay healthy against that type of competition, and continue to improve with the young ball club. And I think we've done that. Obviously, we'll get a big test tonight. But, if we had our druthers, this game would be 9 or 10, the way it was for several years with the build-up to that. But you got to play them whenever they're scheduled, and that's our mentality. Good week of preparation by the kids. Great job by the coaches of getting them ready. And, we're just going to have to go out and match their speed and physicality and play 4 quarters.
You put together some of the best defenses Class 5A's ever seen, Coach, throughout the years here at Guthrie. I would assume tonight your best defense is going to be a good ball control offense.
Well, I told Coach Mick if we could keep the ball around 40 minutes, that would be really good. And he said he'd do his best. But absolutely, you go back and talk about the Nebraska teams and the black shirts, et cetera, and their defensive dominance. What people got to realize about those teams is they had the football the majority of the game, and they make teams have to play from behind whenever they possess the football and go score, much like the flexbone offenses we're seeing today in Class 5A from Altus and Ardmore. And a good run game is the best friend of a defense, and Coach Mick and the guys have got a great scheme put together. And we've got to depend on our senior leaders, Gavin, Dane, these type of kids to go out and lead us tonight. And execution is going to be the name of the game. You're not going to trick Carl Albert. We're going to have to block them. We're going to have to tackle them. We're going to have to be where we're supposed to be. And I think the kids understand that, and we made a point of it and got them as prepared as we can get them. And, it's like I always say on Thursdays, boys, the hay's in the barn, the work's done. It's time to go play and have fun. And that's what we're looking forward to doing.
It's going to be an absolute circus atmosphere tonight at Jelsma Stadium. We're all looking forward to it, Coach.
Absolutely. Love to be at the Rock. I hope all the fans come out to support the boys as we take on this big challenge, and look forward to seeing everybody there tonight.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Well, pause, fans, but don't go away. Next up, much more on the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show. That includes the coin toss, tonight's national anthem, the Mercy Health Report, and the keys of the game. That's when the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show from the Guthrie Radio Network continues in a moment.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 in the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
Let's go live to the stadium with the call of tonight's game. Here's Chris Evans, Casey Porter, Phil Nichols, and Craig Fleck.
It doesn't take much.
How much longer do we have from the station? Welcome back, Interbank Blue Jay kickoff show from Jelsma Stadium. Phil Nichols down on the field. Casey Porter, Chris Evans up here, along with statistician Craig Fleck, as we get set for the big showdown. Guthrie, Carl Albert. This series dates back to 1968. Those numbers I gave you a little bit earlier, 21-16 in the series, that dates back to 1976. But when you go back to the original 1968, Carl Albert has a slim advantage of 23 wins. Guthrie has 22 wins, and Blue Jays trying to even that up here tonight. If they do so, many will be talking about it throughout the state of Oklahoma. And Phil Nichols looking at the defending 5A state champions who were 11-1 a year ago. They bring back a lot of players off that team here tonight. And we see OSU, and we see a good running back, and we see a talented freshman for the Carl Albert Titans.
Well, if averaging 263 yards a game is a good running back, I'd hate to see a great one. I think he's a great one, Chris, but they are loaded. And, you know, the most teams will say, oh, that kid might be 200 when he's really 180. I guess Carl Albert used a different strategy. If the running back listed at 163, I stood next to him. If he's 163, I have wavy blonde hair.
Yeah, listed at 5'10". I think he's right about 6 foot on the small part. Captains for the Blue Jays, and Phil, it's a good one to see number 1 Isaac Lewis back in uniform tonight, and he's going to be joined by Gavin Bryson as the team captain. Number 14 Marquise Miller, as well as number 16 Gabe Gonzalez as the captains tonight.
Yeah, it's really good to see Isaac back on the field. I don't know how much we'll see him actually on the field tonight. I think they'll get him out there for a few plays, get him in back slow into the flow of the games. But yeah, it's great to see him out there.
Trajan Lands, Jason Taylor for the Carl Albert Titans, along with number 68. That's going to be Trey Forbes. And number 78 is Bryce White, the captains for Carl Albert. Let's go downstairs with Mark Clark, tonight's referee, and tonight's coin toss.
Both sets of captains are introducing themselves to each other right now as we speak.
Gentlemen, on the stress good sportsmanship, all right, from both sides. You guys are the captains. You guys take care of your own teammates for us, all right? All right, got a coin. That's tails. That's heads. I'm going to flip it. What are you going to call? Tails? Okay.
Carl Albert's calling the toss.
Tails. It is heads.
Guthrie wins the toss. We're going to defer. We got that part right, Chris.
Absolutely. Is that the first coin toss win of the year?
Yeah.
It is. I'm not superstitious or anything, but I'm pretty excited right now.
And with the Kelly Beebe-led Blue Jay team, obviously deferring is what you would expect the Blue Jays to do with a defensive-minded coach.
Game time temperature right now will be about 86 degrees. Winds out of the south-southeast at 14 miles an hour. The fall-like temperatures, Phil, are coming back next week, so this might be the last warm game of the year.
Yeah, and I hope you're right. It doesn't feel like late September right now, but it is a great atmosphere down here. A lot of Carl Albert folks, as you would expect. A lot of Guthrie folks, as you would expect. And our good friend Jeff Chappell getting an award for being tonight's tailgate sponsor.
Outstanding.
Well, he said somebody was going to win an award tonight. Now I know what he was talking about.
Yeah, this is bad for us, Chris.
Just remember, Chappell always wins.
Always wins.
Jeff Chappell, obviously a great sponsor, not only for Guthrie High School Athletics on the radio, on the field, on the court, on the track, everywhere, but so much for our community with all the nursing homes and many other things that he does for
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Chappells are absolutely first-class people. It's a first-class family, and you know, they've done so many things for the community at Guthrie that people know about. They've done infinite amount of times of things for this community that people don't know about. So the Chappells are a huge part of this Guthrie community and obviously wonderful people.
Both teams to our right in the in the south end zone, getting ready to come out onto the field. Both teams supporting nice uniforms. Carl Albert in the red helmets, CA logo on the side, white jerseys with red numbers. Got the gray pants with the red and white piping down the side. Blue Jays tonight, they're going with those silver helmets, G on the side, blue face mask, black jerseys with the blue numbers outlined in white to go along with the gray pants. The high school marching band, the cheerleaders, forming a line for the Blue Jays from the end zone all the way out to the 40-yard line, awaiting the Blue Jays to take the field for the first time here, coming off a bye week last week. Carl Albert, perfect 3-0, 11-1 as the state champions a year ago. So we'll get to our Mercy Health Report and Esper Chevrolet's keys to the games coming up here in a matter of moments. But the big one, we'll talk about it here a bit in our Mercy Health Report. Isaac Lewis does return for his first game this year.
And the Carter LaValle, for the quarterback, for at least the starting quarterback for the Carl Albert Titans, is in uniform tonight as Here Come Your Blue Jays. Love that song.
Blue Jays into the ball game 1-2. It's a tough stretch for the Blue Jays. They got the Titans, the defending 5A state champions, and the 5A runner-up McGinnis Irish next week in Oklahoma City. This is the third and final straight game in a row. Blue Jays will come back here in 2 weeks, take on Northwest Classic for homecoming, and then the stretch of Lawton, Woodward, and Guyman begins on the road. And the Carl Albert Titans getting ready to come out as well with their cheerleaders on the far sideline from the end zone to the 10-yard line. And here come the defending 5A state champions.
That would be the Carl Albert Titans, and to many surprise a year ago, came through the playoffs as state champions. I know that obviously Carl Albert, every year that Gary Rhodes is on the sideline for them, it shouldn't be a surprise, but I know a lot of people did not expect them to win it a year ago, but they did, and here they are with a very, very experienced team. Not only experience, you have kids that have experience in winning as well.
Time now for our Mercy Health Report, Phil. We kind of touched on a little bit, but Isaac Lewis and Carter LaValle may both be on the field. Don't expect a whole lot, if any.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac's back for us. He'll probably see the field more than the LaValle kid for Carl Albert. Everybody else is kind of as it has been. What I can say is that getting Isaac back into the flow here probably means more to us than if we had LaValle back for Carl Albert, because number 12, that freshman kid, he can flat spin it on Carl Albert's sideline.
That's your Mercy Health Report, brought to you by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Appreciate the fine folks out there, as well as the community care on South Division. Time now for Escort Chevrolet's keys to the game. Phil, you're up first.
Well, bottom line, 0 turnovers for the Blue Jays. We got to play flawless tonight. Execute, shut down number 16. We've got to contain 16, and that's a tall order. Nobody's been able to do it all year, but if we want to get out of here with a W tonight, we're going to have to stop 16.
And when you talk about Carl Albert, the first thing you have to do, obviously stop 16. Nobody's going to be able to completely shut him down. You just got to limit him. He's going to get his, but limit how much he gets. And the way that you do that is that you play good ball control offense. And to go on drives like that, 13, 14, 15-play drives, 7-8 minute drives, you got to stay away from penalties. Yeah. Penalties will put you behind the chains in passing situations. So Phil said turnovers. Obviously, I say penalties because penalties will keep you from going on the long drives that you need to win this game.
Blue Jays will kick right to left on the radio dial, perhaps your YouTube page or your phone, tablet. David Vargas will kick off for the Blue Jays.
Chris, you ready?
Let's do it.
Phil, you ready?
Let's go.
Here come your Men in Black kickoff style. Let's get it on.
Diego Richards back deep for the Carl Albert Titans inside his 5-yard line. Vargas approaches the ball, and we are underway. Guthrie, Carl Albert, Diego Richards will return this one beginning at the 4-yard line. Quickly out to the 10, center of the field to the 15. Cuts it to the near side, 20, 25, 30. Has room to run. 40, 45, midfield. One guy to be at the 40. And from behind, Marcellus Owens will get Diego Richards inside the 30-yard line. They will mark him down at the 28-yard line.
And you forget, 2 years ago as a sophomore, Diego Richards really was the most explosive kid on the Carl Albert team the night that Guthrie saw them, and he's just kind of turned into a defensive guy, a guy they throw bubbles to. That just tells you how athletic this Carl Albert offense is.
68-yard return for Diego Richards, who had a coming out party against the Blue Jays 2 years ago as a sophomore. Diego Richards, very dangerous. 11 catches this year for 127 yards. So here we go with the Carl Albert offense. 303 yards on the ground, 448 total yards per game. They got a short field to begin with, and they'll line up in the pistol. And it's going to be dotted by the talented Deidron Taylor. He'll get the first carry along the left side. Gets to the 25, stays loose for a couple more yards as he gets to the 23-yard line. A 5-yard pickup for Taylor.
And the interesting thing about it is the better you are, the more talented you are, the more boring your offense or defense becomes, the more basic it is, because you don't have to get real sexy in what you do. And you see Carl Albert coming out to the wide side of the field stretch play, that outside zone, and you'll see that all night because Taylor's so good at outrunning to the corner, but yet he's also very good at putting a foot in the ground and getting uphill.
Titans will have a 2nd down and 5 from the 23-yard line of the Blue Jays. 2 receiver set. Harris looks to throw. The freshman going downfield has a man wide open. It's Jason Taylor. It's an easy catch and grab. Titans on the board 56 seconds into the game.
And the quandary you're in is whenever you have a Taylor in the backfield running the ball and you have to devote safeties to get into the alleys to stop the running game because he has so much speed. Whenever you do play action that thing off of the stretch play, the safety's a bit up. Now you have maybe the fastest kid on the field, a Division I player, Chris Taylor, coming off of that play action. And Jason Taylor, I should say, yeah. And you just can't stop it. So, I mean, that's just how good they are and how athletic Carl Albert is.
Jason Taylor's 12th catch of the year is his 2nd touchdown of the year. The extra point up and is good. 56 seconds into it, Carl Albert has a 7-0 lead. Timeout from Jelsma Stadium. This is Blue Jay football.
I'm Mike Gundy, head football coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Respect of the opponent, spectators, coaches, and officials is necessary at all levels of athletics and activity programs. Your conduct is a direct reflection of you, your community, and your school. Sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. Do the right thing.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
Carl Albert strikes first here in the Guthrie Carl Albert reunion, 2017 style here in Jelsma Stadium. 2 plays into the drive. The first play was a stretch play left to Jason Taylor, and the second play was a hot off of that and a play action into the end zone. So 1 run, 1 pass, 1 touchdown for the Carl Albert Titans, and they now have a 7-0 lead. 11:04 to go in the first quarter. And that has been your John Vance Motors scoring summary. John Vance Motors, where it's comfortable to buy a car or a truck or an SUV, whatever you want to buy.
It's true. Titans will kick off now left to right on this one. Back deep for the Blue Jays as the kick is approached. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to be a live ball. Once it hits the ground, it's picked up by the Jays at the 26-yard line and down immediately with no return. And here comes the Guthrie Blue Jay offense this year. 302 yards total, 228 yards coming on the ground, averaging 28 points per contest. The Carl Albert defense, they've been pretty stingy, only allowing 21 points this year. 318 yards of total offense.
4-3, 4-2-5, whatever you want to call it. That's kind of the new age of spread defense, if you will. A defense put together to stop the spread. And Guthrie's running the spread for quite a while. They put the no huddle into it this year.
Blue Jays come out with 3 receivers, 2 to the near side, and the snap is not ready. Actually, the snap comes. Jackson wasn't ready for it. I think everybody was on the same page except for the snapper, and the Blue Jays are going backwards.
On the offense. Still first down.
False start is the call of the Jays, and there's your key to the game.
Because we saw how explosive Carl Albert is, right? You're not going to be able to shut them down unless they don't have the ball. The only way that they don't have the ball is if you have it running the ball at 4 or 5 yards at a clip.
Gavin Bryson gets the first carry as he goes across the 25. It's going to be a 5-yard pickup. Gavin Bryson, Casey, averaging 102 yards per game.
Yeah, and he's really started, we've seen the last couple of weeks, of after getting the handoff, getting downhill and hitting the hole faster than he was early on. So Gavin Bryson's that back that you need to get that 3, 4, 5 yards at a time.
Second down, 12 play. And the Blue Jays are going backwards. Gavin Bryson driven backwards. Forward progress will mark it at the 24-yard line. A 2-yard pickup, or excuse me, a 3-yard loss. And now the Jays will have a third down, about 13 upcoming.
One thing you cannot do against the speed of this Carl Albert defense is stop your feet and or try to go sideways. That allows the defense time with the speed to catch up and track you down.
Brody Hinkle in the motion from left to right in the formation. Third down, 13 from the 24. Jackson Waddell throws for the first time, and it's dropped by Brody Hinkle as they had a defender right on him at the 42-yard line. Would have been good enough for a Blue Jay first down. It's good coverage, though, as the defender was able to knock it out of his hands as Brody was able to get the 2 hands on the football, but again, stop from behind.
Good protection from the offensive line. They call that a smash route, where you just have a stop route from the outside receiver. You have a corner route from the inside receiver. You try to hit that hole behind the corner in front of the safety, and it was a good pass. It was just a good play by the safety to get it knocked away.
3 and out for the Blue Jays. It's a good snap to David Vargas. Good punt for David. Jason Taylor goes backwards, bounces at the 35, across the 30. Taylor will stay away from this one, and the Blue Jays will down it at the 29-yard line. So here come the Titans for the second time here offensively. 9:52 to play in the opening quarter. They have a 7-0 lead.
57-yard punt and no return. And if you're looking to find some advantages in this game that you desperately need, it's all those hidden yards, penalties, special teams, those kinds of plays that give you some momentum.
A note to our YouTube people out there in YouTube land watching this game. We're trying to get our wireless connection there, so bear with us. I know you can hear us, just can't see us. So back to action down on the field. First down and 10 for the Titans from the 29-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 back in the backfield. Now Diego Richards into motion. A handoff to Taylor up the middle, has a big hole. Here he goes, 40, 45, midfield, 40, near sideline, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Jason Taylor from 71 yards out. And Blue Jay fans see up close and personal why he averages 262 per game.
Yeah, and you fake a handoff to the left, you get the defense. You know, Guthrie is not as fast as Carl Albert. That's quite an understatement to make. So you really have to just flow to the football and the play side of a play so hard that if you run that misdirection and you pull it out and hand it back on the other way, it's just going to be very difficult to stop.
Deidre Taylor's second carry is a good one for the Titans. The kick is up, and it's good. Carl Albert now with a 14-0 lead. 9:40 to play in the first quarter. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football on the Blue Jay Radio Network.
You step out of the storm shelter and your home has taken a direct hit. You went online and found a policy, but you can't remember who the carrier is. Now, your roof is torn off and your belongings are scattered all over the neighborhood. Where are you going to stay tonight? How do you begin the process of cleaning up? Terra Insurance Group is Guthrie's local one-stop shop for all your insurance needs. The agents at TIG all live within this community and will be there after the sale when you need them the most. Call Terra Insurance Group at 293-4880 or stop by our offices at 2403 South Division across from the Beacon Drive-In.
When it comes to Guthrie Blue Jay Athletics, Hayes Funeral Home is a proud supporter from the first game all the way to the championship game. Along with many years of experience in funeral service, the Hayes family brings compassion and professional service during difficult times. Owners Chuck and Lynette Hayes take pride in providing families and their loved ones quality care. Chuck and Lynette have not only supported families in the Guthrie area for countless years, but have supported Guthrie student athletes succeeding on the playing field and in the classroom. Hayes Funeral Home is located on the corner of Noble and Wentz, or simply give them a call at 405-282-3100.
Titans go on a one-play, 71-yard drive. It was Deadrian Taylor with the big run of 71. Again, he can enter the ballgame averaging 262 yards per game. Drive took 12 seconds. That's your John Vance Motor scoring summary. Too quick John Vance Motor scoring summary for the Titans. They kick again left to right. Blue Jays will let this one bounce. Got to pick it up, though. They do at the 15-yard line and down immediately. We'll call it near the 16-yard line. And here comes the Blue Jay offense for the second time. They were 3 and out on their first offensive drive.
Yeah, what you notice is just simply the foot speed. I mean, whenever the other team that you're playing has quite a bit more foot speed than you do, it forces you to be so perfect that if you're not, much like we've seen on the big pass play, the big run play, you can't recover. And then once you misfit it, you don't hit your fit right, you don't hit your hole right, you can't catch them.
Gavin Bryson in the backfield with Jackson Waddell. Everyone looking at the Blue Jays sideline getting the call. Offensive coordinator Coach Scott Mick up to our left here in the press box, relaying the call down to the offensive coaches. 13 seconds left on the play clock. Jays approach the line. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Jackson Waddell, junior quarterback in the gun, takes the snap, looks to throw, screen pass, caught to Gavin, makes one defender miss, gets a nice block, out to the 20, to the 22 on the Blue Jays sideline. Pick up 6 yards for Gavin Bryson. Actually, they're going to mark it at the 23, so it's a 7-yard pickup for Gavin and the Blue Jays.
Combo concept. You have a guy in the middle of the field just run a stick. That's Gabe Gonzalez. So the linebacker goes to his little hook area of the defense, and whenever that happens, that means you have nobody responsible for the back out. The quarterback reads that. If the linebacker stays in the middle of the field, you throw the swing route. If he takes the swing route, you throw it to the route in the middle of the field. Jackson Waddell did a great job reading that. Great first down play to get yourself ahead of the chain, 2nd and 3.
We see here the Blue Jays taking their time on offense, trying to keep that Carl Everett offense off the field. Jackson takes a snap, a lead play for him, and he's hit in the backfield for a loss. Back at the 21, loss of 2, so the Jays will have a 3rd down and 5. A helmet comes off the Carl Everett Titan, number 51. Colton Chappell, he'll have to come off the field. Stops the clock for just a brief moment. Again, Carl Everett on top, 14-0, 8:40 to play in the first quarter.
Johnny Scroggins from his right guard spot trying to pull back towards the short side of the field. That is a concept that has been good for this Blue Jay team this year, but Carl Albert's is simply too good.
Carl Albert, as good as they are offensively, their secondary is pretty darn good too. Jackson to throw for it on 3rd down and 5, has all day to throw. Far side is over the head of the intended receiver for the Blue Jays, over the head of Kate Gugasberg. The 5'6" sophomore and the Blue Jays are 3 and out for the second time, and they'll have to punt this one away on 4th down and 5.
The last 3rd down, Guthrie ran the smash route where the outside receiver ran the stop route. The inside receiver ran the corner route. This time they switched it up. The outside receiver ran a post. The inside receiver ran an out. So just kind of exactly opposite on both 3rd downs, but both of them went awry.
David Vargas punt formation inside his 10. Jason Taylor back deep to retrieve this punt. It's a high punt, sailing out of bounds and into the stands. We'll see the line judge marks this one here.
There's a reason why that goes into the stands. You're trying to kick it away from number 25, and that's a good idea.
Jason Taylor, that's the young man, if you're listening in the stands, that has committed to play at Oklahoma State University. Jason Taylor with a touchdown reception earlier. He's a 3-year starter for the Titans. And again, his services in college football look like they're going to be heading to the defensive side. And he had 19 tackles so far this year, 125 in his Carl Albert career.
Kind of in the mold of the Trevante Porter, the Daytwan Lowe type athletes that Porter went to Texas Tech, Lowe went to OSU.
4 receiver set for Ben Harris, the freshman quarterback. He'll roll to the far side, throws it on the run, wide open. It's incomplete as it goes over the head of Diego Richards. He was wide open. It would have been a 1st down by 7 or 8 yards, and he had running room after that as well. 2nd down, though.
You see that route? You had a short route, you had a mid-level route, and you had a deep route. For a freshman quarterback, he has his pick of any one of the 3 that he wants to throw it to. Then you roll him out of the pocket to get him comfortable. That was an absolutely well drawn up play, but the quarterback could not execute.
Titans to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers to the far side. 2nd down and 10 from the Guthrie 45-yard line. Harris wants to throw it again. Comes near side this time. Caught by Taylor at the 40. Trying to get away from a trio of Blue Jays. He'll battle for a couple yards across the 35 to the 34-yard. It's an 11-yard pickup. Jason Taylor with his 2nd catch. That one will have a 1st down for the Titans.
Remember 2 weeks ago, the last time the Blue Jays played Coach Beebe put Marcellus Owens in man-to-man coverage on the best receiver for Ponca City Vogel that night. I think you'll probably see quite a bit of that. Number 3 for the Blue Jays, Marcellus Owens, shadowing Jason Taylor everywhere he goes. He's doing it again here on this play. Here's the bottom of the formation on your YouTube feed.
Jalen Lewis, the running back in there, the third running back to play for the Titans already. As Harris takes the snap, play action, looks far side, throws far side, has a man wide open, that's Richards. Caught at the 15, breaks the tackle to the 10, far sideline, pushed out of bounds around the 5-yard line. The Titans with a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, that's Richard.
We'll have
Doolittle.
a first down and go. Excuse me, that's number 5 with the reception. Jaden Poole, the number 3 receiver for the Carl Albert Titans. Poole this year now entered the ballgame with 5 catches, 47 yards. He's also a 3-year starter for the Titans.
That's Richard Doolittle, weak side defensive end for the Blue Jays, in coverage against Diego Richards. And that's a concept to where if Carl Albert can find that matchup, game, set, match.
Dadrian Taylor back in the ballgame at running back. That's usually his area. First and go from the 5. Trying to go up 3 scores. They'll throw for it into the end zone. Looking for Poole again. Comes down with it. Was he in bounds?
No, he was
out
not.
of bounds. So it's incomplete.
One of those nights where every time Carl Albert throws the ball, you're almost thankful because they're so explosive running the ball. And boy, that boundary fade. And when I say boundary, I mean the short side of the field. That guarantees you that you're going to get man-to-man coverage. So teams love to just throw that fade and play that one-on-one matchup to their best receiver.
Pistol formation. Taylor dots the I again. Taylor, receiver to the right. Pull the receiver to the left. Hand off Taylor. He'll run left. And we got a holding, I think. There it is.
Oh.
And Taylor was trying to let the play develop, but there's a big hold right in front of you. You kind of knew this one was coming back immediately. So the referee throws the flag, and the Titans will be penalized for the first time.
Well, do you take it and make it second down again?
On the offense.
Or do you decline it and make it third goal? I mean, you hate to give them extra downs as explosive as they are, but 10 yards is a lot of real estate, so the Blue Jays electing to accept this penalty.
Carl Albert already 139 yards of offense here on their third offensive possession. Blue Jays just 7 yards of offense. This one backs the Titans back up to the 19-yard line. Second down and goal.
You notice they're working that short side of the field, and I'm not exactly sure what matchup they see there. Obviously, they're lining Richards up to the short side, and that becomes a good matchup for them, but they're running it to the short side as well.
Richards in the slot. Second go from the 19. 4 receiver set. Quick pass. It's incomplete. The receiver never saw it coming. Jaden Poole had his back when the ball was thrown. Ben Harris, he tall, good looking, just a freshman. At the time he's a senior, going to be pretty good, I would imagine. He's not going to run the football by any means here tonight, but just not on the same page there.
And again, working that same side of the field, the short side of the field, and that's a matchup obviously Carl Albert feels comfortable with. And they've tried to expose it this possession, but Terrence Bibbs, Marquise Miller over that way, Richard Doolittle on one play, have done a good job to that side of the field.
Titans to the line of scrimmage, same formation as one before. 3 receivers to the near side. Diego Richards in the slot. Pull the receiver to the far side. Third down and go from the 19. Harris, here's the pressure up the middle, throws it. It's caught at the 5. Touchdown, Dadrian Taylor, his second touchdown of the night. And the Titans have a 20-0 lead, 6:50 to play, first quarter.
I will guarantee you that showed some moxie from the freshman quarterback because he was getting ready to get hit when he released it. He saw the blitz come right up the A-gap from Troy Branson. Once he saw it, he stayed composed, and he got a good pass right down the seam to Taylor, and that showed me some courage from the freshman quarterback.
PAT, good snap, good hold. Kick is playing long enough. Did he kick it wide left? Yeah, he did. PAT is no good. So with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first, all Titans so far, they lead the Jays 20-0. Timeout from Jelsma. This is Blue Jay Football, 937 FM, KSBI.
Sonic has every slush flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically slush headquarters.
Where sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
Well, not if Lemonberry has anything to say about it.
Oh, Lemonberry, you're already sour. Come to the sour side.
Never. I'll never join you.
Refreshment just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds candy. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
John Vance Auto Group is proud to be a sponsor of Guthrie High School football. We're all about Guthrie and the people who live here.
The customer service philosophies with the John Vance Auto Group are keyed on fixing it right the first time. Nobody likes to have a problem with their car. If they bring it in, they want it fixed. They want it fixed in a timely manner, and they want it fixed right the first time. And we think if we do that, that word spreads, and it has. Our service departments have a tremendous reputation.
John Vance Auto Group.
To Adrian Taylor, 19 yards out. Titans go 45 yards in 6 plays. Took minute 22 off the clock. And now with 6:50 play in the first quarter, Carl Albert 20, Guthrie 0. That has been your John Vance Motors scoring summary. John Vance Motors, where it's comfortable to buy a truck.
Yeah, it's looked pretty easy for the Titans, and that's what happens when you have such explosive players. You can balance the field. You get them in space, and then it just makes matchup nightmares. Blue Jays don't have enough foot speed to keep up, so that's kind of what's happened so far.
Isaac Lewis fields it on the run, breaks across the 40-45 midfield, tackled in Titan territory, and we call Isaac Lewis's name for the first time in a uniform. You've been on the sideline for the first 3 games. Blue Jays will have tremendous field position, down 20-0.
And he is a sight for sore eyes. Even if it's not for tonight, he's getting valuable reps that will pay off down the line in this season. So Isaac Lewis, it's great to see him back.
Absolutely. So the Jays will set up camp at the Carl Albert 46-yard line. The ball's on the far hash mark in front of the Carl Albert sideline. Pistol formation, Gavin Bryson, the running back. 3 receivers, 2 to the near side. Long developing play here. Gavin gets the call, runs on the left side across the 45, down around the 42-yard line. Pick up a 4 for Gavin again. Gavin entered the ball game. 46 carries this year, 308 yards, 6 touchdowns. That averages out to 102.7 per game. If he can get over 100 here tonight, the Blue Jays will definitely take that. He's going to take every yard, every pass tonight to not only
Have you ever raised your right hand
a good ball game
to get somebody to look at your right hand that slapped him with your left hand? We'll get to that here in just a minute.
Stand by on that one. Brody Hinkle motion left to right. And we have a flag call. It's going to be a false start on the Blue Jays.
False start on the offense. Still second down.
You kind of raise your right hand to get him to look at your right hand, and then you get him with your left hand, you gig him with your left hand. That's kind of what this Guthrie offense is tonight. We saw Dylan Dollar pull once on that last play. We've seen Johnny Scroggins pull. We know that Jamal Ronas can, and Justin Ergang have done it all year. So it's kind of one of those deals where you make Carl Albert try to think it's going one way, and you actually run it back the other.
Second down and 10. Jackson will keep it and will get hit at midfield. It's going to be a loss of, they're going to mark him at the 49. It's going to be a loss of 3. And once again, the Blue Jays are third down and behind the chains.
And that's why you have to do that, try to make him think it's going one way, run it back the other. Because when you just run the ball to the play side, in other words, you line up, it looks like the play is going that way. Carl Albert's able to read their keys, run to the ball. Like that last play on that speed option, they're just simply too fast. They're going to run right to the ball and stop you before you even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Jays have run 8 plays. They've been able to only muster 9 yards. Need 13 for a first down. Marcel Owens into motion. 3rd down and 13 from midfield. Jackson has time, sets up a screen. Carl Albert not fooled by it as Gavin drops the football. Incomplete. Jason Taylor loses his helmet in the process of making the tackle. And the Blue Jays will be forced to punt.
Which means he can't return his punt. That's a good thing. So Diego Richards will have to go deep.
Now Diego Richards has to do it. Okay.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned that, hey, look, I'm coming over here, then running back the other. You run motion to the top of the formation, all to throw a screen to the bottom of the formation. And that's a great setup, great misdirection, but Jason Taylor's just simply too smart and too athletic.
Phil, we haven't seen 7 minutes of the Titans, and we can see why they're pretty good.
Wow. Yeah, they're loaded. Pick your poison, right?
Yeah. Good snap to David Vargas. Good high kick. Punts it away from Diego Richards. Stays in bounds for the moment and will be down at the 12-yard line. So good punt there by David Vargas. Good punt meaning there was no return. And the Titans will have a 1st down and 10. So where do you begin to try to stop this offense?
Well, and Coach Beebe, you begin with stopping the run and Adrian Taylor. And you stop that stretch play, you stop the little cross buck that they ran. Then you hope to get him in 2nd and long, and then the goal from there is to put the heat on the freshman quarterback Harris and hope that he'll make some mistakes and or errant throws for you. That's the objective. You got to get 1st down shut down in this running play, that either Diego Richards and or Dadrian Taylor will run. It looks like it'll be Richards this time.
Titans averaging almost 18 yards per play. This is their 10th offensive snap. Ben Harris, play action, comes in near side, caught by Zane Alexander as it will get out near the 27, close to the first down marker, as it was 1st and 10 from the 17.
So knowing that's kind of Guthrie's game plan is to stack up against the run on first down, get Carl Albert long yardage situations. Good little play action, especially for the quarterback. It's a one-read hot throw. That's perfect for an inexperienced kid like Harris. He's able to nudge fake it and throw it out there in a one-on-one matchup and get good yards on first down. Well schemed up.
9 yards officially, so it's 2nd down and 1. Look out for any type of play here. Tight end on the left with 3 receivers. Pistol formation. Handoff on the left side to the 30. 1st down and more. 35, 40. 45 flag is down. And we have a tackle at midfield. And I think this one's probably going to go back, as we saw there, 22, Jalen Lewis.
Yep.
3rd running back. He's a 5'8", 160 senior.
Well, they all look alike, him and Diego Richards and all those little scat back type guys.
Holding on the offense. 2nd down still.
Phil, it looks like some Blue Jays have passed. Okay, you want to stop Clayton Smith or Kai Staley? Okay, we got Dante Foster or Kentrell Brothers we're going to throw it to.
Rob Hudson and I were literally just talking about that. It takes us back to some favorite times of ours. So, yeah, it's tough. I mean, you got 6, 7, 8, probably 9 kids at skill positions that, to be quite honest, any team in 5A would like to have them. So, they're loaded, guys.
As you go down the line, I mean, the fastest Blue Jay would be what? Maybe the 7th, 8th fastest Carl Albert Titan? Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll give it that, but probably a little less.
Penalty backs it up to the 18-yard line. 2nd down and 9. Harris, another quick toss. Caught quickly out to the 20, to the 25. Tackled at the 26 on the far sideline. Again, Zane Alexander with the reception, the 5'11", 155-pound senior.
Now, that's just an extension of the running game. And like I said, when you have to devote 7, 8, 9 guys to get Dadrian Taylor and everybody else they want to run the ball with, you got to devote 8 or 9 guys to that. Then you just fake a handoff to him. It's called a nudge fake, and just throw a little quick out to one of your big receivers. It's a fast throw because it's to the short side of the field. You just get a guy in space, and he gets the first down.
3 minutes and 50 seconds play in the first quarter. Titans 20, Blue Jays 0.
They're setting up that deep shot. Remember that bubble and then the bubble and go that Shawnee ran a couple of weeks ago?
1st down and 10 for the Titans. They got 4 receivers, and they will throw for it. Short side, caught by number 1, Zane Alexander. And the Titans will go from the 27-yard line near up to the 34, pickup of 7 yards.
So the question is, do you like Alexander against Bibbs on that side of the field, or do you like Jason Taylor versus Marcellus Owens? And Carl Albert, realizing that Marcellus is in man on Jason Taylor, has elected to go away from him and pick on the matchup against Terrence Bibbs.
And Jason Taylor exits the ball game.
Yep.
The Titans will come out with, again, 3 receivers. 2nd down and 3 from their own 34-yard line. Neither Taylor in the ball game. Ben Harris, their quarterback, play action. One to throw a little screen, does, caught by Richards at the 30, spins at the 35, gets to the 40, 45 midfield, 1st down and more. Here he goes, near sideline 40, 35, 30, 25, and down at the 20-yard line. Close to a 46-yard pickup for Diego Richards, and Diego loves playing against the Blue Jays. Now we have an injured player down the field, a Guthrie player. It is indeed a 46-yard pickup for Diego Richards.
Yeah, like I said, that's just that RPO. Basically, it's triple option football. You fake the dive up the middle, and then the quarterback Harris can throw, and if you have him covered, then he has a little bubble out to his right. It's a complete triple option play. It's the original RPO concept that teams ran 2 or 3 years ago when the RPO started becoming popular. And obviously, when you have a guy like Diego Richards on the third end of that, that's a pretty good play to run.
David Scott was the injured Blue Jay. He was able to walk off on his own power. Titans have it 1st down and 10 from the Guthrie 19-yard line.
Tight end to the right.
Trips to the left. Play action. Richards with the catch at the 20, 15 to the 10. Slicing, cutting down to the 5-yard line. About a 14-yard pickup. 1st and goal for the Titans, already on top, 20-0, 2:23 to play in the first.
That's the first time Carl Albert's had a tight end in the game with 3 receivers of the same side out of that trip set, and you know that they're just kind of scanning and probing to figure out how Guthrie's going to line up. Here comes their big formation.
Wildcat with big 70 in the backfield. He's going to take the snap on the left side, and he's going to get hit for maybe a 1-yard pickup. Let's go deep on the roster here and look at number 70, Leo Hayes, 6'4", 340 pounds. And
Phil Nichols on the tackle from El Dorado, Kansas, huh?
The way that came out there looking at me.
That was fun to watch there. Big boy in the backfield there, playing some old school. Just line up your biggest guys and run it forward and see what you can do, right?
Is it too easy to give it to Dadrian Taylor? I mean, is that what it is?
They're feeding the big guy. Just kind of like just give it to the fullback every now and then, so he'll keep doing his job, right?
He's 4 fullbacks,
yes.
Not 1 fullback. Second and go from the 4-4, and now we go pistol formation with the Dadrian Taylor. They hand it off to him. See how this one goes. He slips in the backfield, able to get a yard, maybe 2 at most. So the Titans will have a 3rd down and goal. 80 seconds play in the first quarter.
Love that dart play. If you look at it on video, you know, you run that stretch play, the outside zone, and then you get that defense stretching out to stop it. Then all of a sudden, you pull a tackle back the other way. The running back puts a foot in the ground and cuts back and gets back up underneath that tackle who's pulled. And it's a great play, but Taylor slipped.
Pickup of 2 yards. It's 3rd and goal from the 2. Pistol formation with Dadrian Taylor again. 2 receivers set. They will throw for it. Harris lobs it up, looking for Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor catch, foot, touchdown. Phil, that was right in front of you.
It's everything we've been told, boys. I'm going to tell you right now, the best football player on this field tonight is number 25.
And if it's not number 25, it's 3. And if it's not him, it's his younger brother, Dadrian Taylor. So, boy, that quarterback, Harris, can spin it, can he?
Yeah, he 35 of 55 entering the ballgame again. He's just a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Snap, hold, kick, it's up, and the PAT is good. So the Titans now 3 of 4 on PATs. We will leave it here. We're just 45 seconds away from the end of the first quarter. New score, Titans 27, Guthrie 0. And Phil, this is what we talked about. The first 5 games of the year we thought could be like this. You got 3 teams, basically 6A numbers. Then you got the 2 best teams in 5A, including the Elite Titans tonight. This is where the mentality, you got to stay mentally strong.
Well, and this is, I guarantee you, this isn't a surprise to a lot of people. And our kids are still playing. They're playing hard. We talk about it all the time. It's Jimmy's and Joe's, right? And they're playing some of the best players in the state of Oklahoma tonight. Our kids are competing. As long as they keep doing that, it's going to be a good night for them. They've got to keep competing, and they will.
Blue Jays 9 snaps, 9 yards. Carl Albert 18 snaps, 251 yards. Titans are averaging 14 yards per play. Blue Jays just averaging 1 yard per play. And the numbers are lopsided, just like the scoreboard is lopsided, 27-0. We'll have our John Vance Motor scoring summary here in just a little bit. Coming up, we'll have some scores from around the state of Oklahoma. Kind of not a real strong night in Class 5A football. There's a handful of games out there. I think the bigger games are in 6A Division 2 tonight, 6A Division 1. Time now for your John Vance Motor scoring summary. Again, Carl Albert Titans on the scoreboard. 5-yard touchdown pass. Ben Harris to Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor's 3rd touchdown of the first quarter. Took him 8 plays to go 83 yards, and the Titans have a 27-0 lead with 45 seconds to play in the first. That's your John Vance Motor scoring summary. Kickoff for the Titans. Squib kick across the middle. Picked up by Isaac at the 32. Quickly to the 35, to the 40, down to the 45-yard line. Nice second return for Isaac Lewis. And the Blue Jays will have good field position at their own 45. 1st down and 10.
And now you just start working on getting some first downs.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep, we said, the best and really the only defense you can put out against this Carl Albert offense is to keep the football and run the ball. But if you look at their front 7, they're big with their 2 tackles in the middle. Then they're athletic and long at the defensive ends. They're athletic and long at linebacker. And they're off the charts in the secondary. So where do you go to try to hurt this defense?
Blue Jays Carl Albert 9 first downs, Guthrie 0 first downs. 1st down 10 from the 45, hand off to Gavin across the line of scrimmage, out to the 49-yard line, pick up a 4. Blue Jays, if they like, would be the final play of the first quarter. If so, they choose to do so.
That is a big boy, number 65 for the Blue Jays, Jamal Ronas, pulling around from his left tackle spot to lead up on that power play. It's a good play. It sets up well. It's misdirection. It's power all in one.
That will be the first quarter. Thank goodness. Let's get out of here and regroup and get set for the second quarter. Carl Albert Titans, led by Jason Taylor's 3 touchdown receptions, have a 27-0 lead after quarter number 1. Take a timeout. You're listening to Guthrie Bluejay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
For decades, Guthrie Athletics has been a source of pride in the Guthrie community. Hi, I'm Merritt Roberts, and I've been a Blue Jay supporter and Farm Bureau agent for many, many years.
I want to wish all the Guthrie student athletes not only a great season on the field, course, track, or court, but in the classroom as well. If integrity, honesty, and accessibility are important to you, call Farm Bureau at 620-4920 and ask for Merritt. I would welcome the opportunity to give you a professional evaluation of your insurance needs, or simply stop by and let's talk about the Jays.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
We're set for second quarter action here inside Jelsma Stadium. Blue Jays will have it 2nd down and 6 from the 49-yard line. Jackson Waddell takes the shotgun snap, looks to throw it on the run, and it's going to be short hop to Brody Hinkle, incomplete, and Jays will have a 3rd down and 6. Still looking for the first down of the night. Alongside Phil Nichols, Craig Fleck, Casey Porter, I'm Chris Evans, along with our producer back in our Stillwater studio, Jordan, for the first time in this season. Glad to have her on board. Wish we had a better score for her.
Yeah, no doubt.
Carl Albert 27, Guthrie 0.
And I think if Guthrie's going to string some first downs together, like they're going to have to do to stay in this game, obviously, just to control some clock and keep that Carl Albert offense, you're going to have to throw it some on first down and throw it short to get ahead of the chains.
3 receiver set on 3rd down and 6. Again, the snap. Not sure if it was late or early. It was one of the two as the flags come down. I think this might be the second illegal snap on the Jays. Officials are talking.
Both times the center thought it was on set.
Yeah.
And everybody else thought it was on a different count. So referee turn on his microphone. We get this conversation in.
He's got to figure out what he's got to say in the microphone.
Yeah, that's right.
Referee tonight, Mark Clark. Umpire, Hank Reeves. Line judge, Jerry Privet. Head linesman, Rick Morales, our favorite official. Back judge, Hugh Cooper. These guys have been in state championship games.
You can tell by just listening to Clark through the referee mic that he's very comfortable with it. He's done it before.
Got a dead ball. Encroachment here.
Here is Carl Albert defense. So the Jays will get into Carl Albert territory. Will the penalty give them a first down? They're going to be a little short.
Yeah, and encroachment means that the defense entered the neutral zone, causing the center to snap the ball. And so I think that's probably the right call.
Ball's marked at the 46. The Blue Jays need a yard to the 45 to get their first down of the night. 3rd down and 1.
And you look around the secondary. Where do you go for a matchup, right?
That's what I was amazed by that.
Yeah.
3rd down and 1, hand off to Gavin. He'll try to get it. Lowers the helmet, and he picks up the Blue Jay first down. The Titan helmet comes off for the 3rd time in this ball game. And the Blue Jays will move the chains and see if they can get them going.
This early as we just started the second quarter, but small victories are what you're looking for right now. And the fact that Gavin took that ball and lowered his head and just trucked over a Carl Albert defender to get the first down, that was a good play, Gavin Bryson.
1st and 10 from the Titan 44. Gavin will get it again. Right side flag throws in across the 40 to the 39, but umpire threw the flag, and that usually means a hold.
Right in the middle of the field and right as soon as Gavin hit the line of scrimmage. That does not spell well for an offense.
Another Titan loses his helmet.
Yeah.
What's the record for lost helmets?
Corey Seager has it in baseball. I know that.
Personal foul here.
Yes,
that's a chop block.
Yeah, I think that was a chop block. Craig Flake saw that.
Yep, and what that means is you had a guy engaged up high with a defensive lineman, then a back and or an H-back pulling around, engaged with that same defensive lineman in the lower half of the body. That's very, very dangerous. It's illegal, and it's a major penalty. Guthrie losing 15 yards now, first down and 25.
On all levels of football.
Yep. Boy, and after you got your first down, this is not what you wanted to see.
First down in Oklahoma City. First down and 20. Jackson looked to throw, steps out of the pocket, now is going to have to take off on foot, gets a big block, and another Titan helmet falls off. That was due to a big hit by the Blue Jays. The Titan slow to get up. It was a clean block, Phil.
Yeah, that's a good block. Let me tell you, that young he's answering the phone. Nobody's home. It's ringing. I'm going to tell you, though, that was a heck of a block.
Landon York took it for the Titans, the 165-pound senior.
And if anybody wants to know whether the Guthrie Blue Jays, Phil, are playing hard tonight, these last two plays with Carl Albert helmets coming off should tell you that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, our kids are playing hard, guys. They're not giving up an inch. You know, it's Jimmy's and Joe's, right?
There is no intimidation factor whatsoever to this.
Zero. They're battling big time.
Second down and 22 from the Guthrie 44. They need the Titan 34. Jackson rolls to the near side. Three receivers on a route, and Marcellus Owens unable to get to the football as it sails out of bounds around the 45-yard line. So Guthrie will have a third down at 22. 11:06 to play until halftime.
I've always said
Titans on top 27-0.
Baseball players, especially shortstops like Jackson Waddell, are so used to going to their left for everything that they throw better when they're rolling to their left. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but you saw Jackson roll to his right, something he never does on a baseball diamond, and it just sailed away from him.
Third down, 22. Same formation as the one before. Jackson rolls again, throws it on the run, and Jackson not on target again as he tried to hook up with Gabe Gonzalez, but it goes out of bounds, incomplete. Jays will have to punt the football away. Some scores real quick in District 5A2 action. Lawton Eisenhower hosting Guyman, 14-0. Lawton on top of that one. Piedmont at home taking it to Northwest Classen there, 28-0. No score between Bishop McGinnis and Woodward.
And you notice that Guthrie rolling the pocket to stay away from the rush, and then throwing it to the sideline to stay away from the middle of the field, because guess who's in the middle of the field? Diego Richards, Jason Taylor, you name it. All of those guys that are incredible football players. The Blue Jays coach Mick trying to stay away from them and throw it to the sideline.
Fourth down, 22. Good snap to David Vargas. Punts it away, a line drive punt. It will be fielded at the 25 by 25. Jason Taylor then hit for a loss of 1 yard. Nice open field tackle there by Kel Coffin. Blue Jay number 6, sophomore for the Blue Jays. And so the Titans take over with 10:49 to play until halftime, again on top, 27-0.
And on the field, it just seems like that everybody's playing on one field, Phil, and then Jason Taylor and his brother are just playing on a different one, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. I mean, it's noticeable, the speed difference, just, you know, and they're smart players, and you're watching them out there. These guys know where to be. They're just really, really smart players and extremely athletic on top of that.
Adrian Taylor, a junior. Jason Taylor, a senior. First down, 10. Handoff to Dadrian on the right side, looking for a hole. Bus across the 30 to the 31. 6-yard pickup.
And he's more of that bigger downhill type back. He's not the shifty guy like we've seen in Diego Roberts and some of their other guys that they'll get the ball to in space. But he's that bigger battering ram that eats up about 2 yards every time he strides.
And he's patient.
Yep. He's more of that just downhill bruising type back with straightaway track speed.
He's like, wait. Okay,
yep.
I got to run over one guy. Okay, here I go. Boom.
Yep.
Second down and 4 for the Titans. Ball's on the far hash mark. Titans 31-yard line. Twin receivers to each side. Ben Harris, freshman quarterback, in the shotgun. Running back on the left side is Taylor. Harris comes to the near side. Pass is caught by number 4, Chris Vills. Breaks a tackle midfield, 45-40, 35, and down in around the 31-yard line of the Blue Jays. So it goes from the 31 to the 31.
Who?
Yeah.
Their 8th receiver?
Yeah.
And he's faster than anybody Guthrie can put. I mean, that's just, and I say that not meaning to joke whatsoever. This Carl Albert team is just absolutely unbelievably loaded at the skill spot.
Phil, we've had the conversations, and we'll know a lot more next week, but Carl Albert McGinnis, a lot of people think they're going to be in the finals. It would be a talented team or a lucky team to take down this team.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I haven't seen McGinnis yet, but if they're better than these guys, watch out.
4 receiver set, first down and 10 officially from the 32-yard line. Harris, play action, throws it center of the field, and it's over the head at the 25-yard line. Pass is incomplete. And
you know what else this tells me is how good Ardmore is. Ardmore played this team fairly good. Just last week?
28-12.
Yeah, I mean, they only gave up 28 points. They scored 12 points on them, which means Ardmore has enough athletes to at least somewhat keep up with this Carl Albert offense.
I'd imagine the Ardmore offense was on the field quite a bit to keep.
But they have enough athletes defensively on the back end.
And then offense to do it.
Yes, correct.
Second down 10 for the Titans. Ball's on the near hash mark, making their way toward the rock. Second down 10 from the 32. Harris takes the snap, looks to throw, has time, center of the field, and it's going to be almost picked off by Marcellus Owens. Nice coverage there, as the intended receiver was Jason Taylor, who has 3 touchdowns already on tonight. And so the Titans will have a third down and 10, obviously 4 down territory for them.
The biggest bright spot so far this evening is that number 1, Isaac Lewis, as you see him on your YouTube feed at safety for the Blue Jays, is getting a lot of playing time tonight. And then number 3, from his corner spot, Marcellus Owens, has been in man coverage a lot on number 25. He's in man coverage here again for Carl Albert, and in my opinion, Marcellus Owens has won that matchup.
Titans with 296 yards of offense tonight, third down and 10. Play action, pass caught at the 32 at the line of scrimmage, and Trevay Williams with a nice tackle, and Titans will pick up 3 yards to the 29.
With Turvey coming off of his rush, he's seen that quick. And, of course, you run that to get about half of it back, knowing you're going to go for it on 4th down to make your 4th down play more manageable. But Turvey Williams from his defensive end spot comes off of his rush, redirects, and goes and makes a play on a very good athlete in space on that quick. That was a very impressive play, Turvey Williams.
Jason Taylor, with his 4th catch of the night, now has 40 yards of offense. It's 4th down and 7 for the Titans. This will be their first attempt here on 4th down for either ball club in that matter. 3 receivers to the near side. Diego Richards in the slot. Jason Taylor receivers to the far side. And before that happens, we have a timeout taken by the Titans. We will keep it here with 8:25 to play in the second quarter. Carl Albert got out to a 27-0 lead at the end of quarter number 1. And it's been Jason Taylor, throwing a Dadrian Taylor in the middle of all that, as Carl Albert has gone on scoring drives of 2 plays, 1 play, 6 plays, and 8 plays. Yards of 28, 71, 45, and 83, and have been dominant doing so.
Yeah, it's one of the most impressive skill player sets for a team that I've seen in a long, long time. Of course, you remember some of those Ardmore teams in the mid-2000, 2005, 2006. Last year with Anthony Love and all those kids at Lawton Mack, obviously they were very impressive. McGinnis had Rubel Go, and they had the freshman Dominique Richardson a year ago, Matt Chancellor. They were very impressive. And then obviously those East Central teams were off the charts. But you could put this Carl Albert team from a skill position, from a set of skill position players up there with any of them, couldn't you?
Absolutely. 6A scores, Broken Arrow looking for the first win. They're in Yukon tonight. They're leading 28-6. And Owasso trying to stay undefeated, hosting Mustang tonight. Owasso with a first quarter 14-0 lead. Back to action here on Jelsma. 4th down and 7 for the Titans from the 29-yard line. Snap, Harris looks to throw, just lobs it up. Any man's ball on the far sideline. It's caught, touchdown. Titans.
Well, we just talked about that matchup. Marcellus Owens, man-to-man coverage, Jason Taylor.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 best athletes for either team. Guthrie's best cover corner with Marcellus Owens, and obviously Carl Albert's best player. And we talked about just a minute ago how Marcellus had been winning that matchup. He did not win that one.
Jason Taylor, 4th touchdown reception of the night.
He's pretty good.
Mike Gunny might think offense maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Extra point up over the rock, and it is good. 8:18 to play till halftime. Carl Albert increasing that lead now, 34-0. Timeout from Jelsma. This is Blue Jay Football, 93.7 FM, KSBI.
These tenders have always been my number 1. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
She's your mom, and you want to do your best. And at Golden Age Nursing Home and Ash Street Senior Living, we know just how difficult it is to make choices when it comes to your loved one's needs, and we can help. You'll find caring, supportive staff members and a full range of healthcare services. You'll also find a commitment to quality throughout all of our nursing home and healthcare agencies. Call Golden Age Nursing Home at 282-0144 or Ash Street Senior Living at 282-2000. You want to do your best, and so do we.
Carl Albert Titans back on the scoreboard here for the first time in the second quarter after scoring 4 touchdowns in the first quarter. This time it was a 29-yard touchdown pass to Jason Taylor. Taylor now has touchdown receptions of 29, 5, and 23 yards tonight. Titans go 76 yards, 6 plays, 2-minute 31-second drive. That is your John Vance Motors scoring summary. Kickoff, Blue Jays. Well, watch this one go into the end zone. 8:18 to play till halftime. Carl Albert 34, Guthrie 0. Blue Jays come back onto the field offensively again tonight. They've taken 15 offensive snaps for 18 yards of offense. 6 through the air, 10 on the ground. Blue Jays on the night, just 1 first down. Carl Albert has 11 first downs here this evening. Ben Harris, 13 of 18 passing tonight for 240 yards. Dadrian Taylor, 4 carries, 84 yards in limited action here tonight so far. First down 10 for the Jays. They take over at their own 20-yard line. Hand off Gavin up the middle. Tackle for a 2-yard pickup. Second down and 8. The Blue Jays obviously want to take some time off the clock, but having a hard time in the running game to advance past third down and fourth down.
Like I said, if Guthrie, I think, wants to stay ahead of the chains to get some first downs, they're going to have to throw some short passes on first down just to get 5 or 6 yards to get them ahead of the chains, because the run on first down has been shut down for Carl Albert.
And if you're a Guthrie coach, that stops the clock if it's incomplete.
If it's incomplete, so you're in a quandary, no doubt. And, you know, we didn't mention in that touchdown play to Jason Taylor the throw by the freshman quarterback. He threw that right on a dime, didn't he?
Hand off to Gavin, trying to stretch it on the left side. He's going to be thrown down like a rag dog back at the 15, 16-yard line. And
the problem with that is whenever you run sideways against Carl Albert is every day in practice,
they do that. Yeah.
They're having to race down Jason Taylor, Diego Richards, the other Taylor. Oh, man.
Well, and then when Zane Alexander.
So they're used to running down speed.
When someone like Zane Alexander catches it, you're like, oh, good, finally someone, but it's 8 yards.
And then the other kid that caught one down here to this near boundary that outran the defense.
That was Dills. 5-yard loss for the Jays, so it's third down and 13 from their own 17. Jackson obviously will throw for it. Pass is caught by Hinkle at the 25. Going to be about 5 yards shy of the first down. They'll mark it at the 26, and it'll be 4th down and 4. Brody, I believe, went out of bounds, so it stops the clock, and the Jays punting team back onto the field.
You're almost tempted to go for it because you're like, well, we can't stop them anyways, and the only way that we can stop them is if we have the football. So it's a tempting thought, but obviously the good football play is to punt the thing away and try to figure some things out.
This will be David's 5th punt of the night. He's averaging 33.5 yards per punt. He's back at his own 14-yard line. Jason Taylor back at his 42. Ball will bounce just past midfield, and Taylor will get away from it, and the Blue Jays will down it at the Titans' 40-yard line. Putting the hand on the football there was 14, Marquise Miller. And here comes the Titans after that 34-yard punt by David Vargas. About his average here tonight. Again, Carl Albert, 327 yards of offense, 240 through the air. They enter the ball game averaging 450 yards per game.
Yeah, and here's where you have to watch out for just kind of losing your spirit as a defense. You've done everything you can. We've talked about how hard Guthrie's playing, and it just hasn't paid off at all for him because Carl Albert is just simply that talented. You worry about Guthrie losing a little bit of an edge at this point.
Richards, Bills, the receivers to the far side. Alexander, receiver to the near side. Pistol formation. Play action. Pass caught by Alexander. Marcellus Owens trying to hold on for dear life as Alexander gets across the 45 to the 47. 7-8 yard pickup for Bills. And I think it just looks like it. Carl Albert, I think it looks like kind of already calling off the dogs because Adrian Taylor only has 5 carries.
From a personnel perspective, yes, they're calling up, but from a playbook perspective,
no, correct, yeah.
They're still running all their RPO scheme. They're running nudge fakes and all their quicks and probably a stretch play coming here. So
Jalen Lewis is in the game, and who's a good running back, but obviously not Adrian Taylor. 3 receivers to the far side, 2nd down and 3. Handoff to Lewis, trying to get the first down, and will be shy of midfield, which that is what the Titans need, and it will be a 3rd down and 1 play as Lewis gets to the 49.
And they can run the ball, they can play action, throw the ball, they can throw all those quicks and all the intermediate routes we've seen. Then they can just line you up and tilt you and get a one-on-one matchup and throw you deep.
Here's the deal with Carl Albert too. They'll have I think it's Northwest Classic next week, but then they have McGinnis.
Big. Sorry, partner.
They have McGinnis in 2 weeks, and then after that, they have 3 or 4 weeks to get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because the rest of their schedule, they're top-heavy schedule this year. 3rd down and 1, hand off to Adrian Taylor at midfield. He has the first down, spins off of Blue Jay, dances around another, goes across the 45-yard line, a fancy 8-yard run for Adrian Taylor, and the Titans will have a first down. Kel Kaufman will come into the ball game on the defensive side.
You know who he reminds me of when he runs the ball? Do you remember Eric Dickerson?
Oh, yeah.
The way that he ran the ball, just kind of upright, big. And he didn't necessarily have jump cuts and all that, but he could stop his feet and hesitate a little bit, let you fly by, and then once he turned the Jets back on, it was all she wrote.
He stays in the ball game in the pistol formation.
He's definitely that downhill eye type back.
If he's in the game, he's going to get the ball right. 1st down and 10 from the 45. Blue Jays load the box. Play action. Harris goes downfield looking for the receiver. Triple coverage. Is it intercepted? It sure did look like it. Oh, the ball falls down. Marcellus Owens almost made a nice interception. Had the ball in the air, could not finish the catch as the ground popped it loose. It's incomplete.
That's a play that a freshman quarterback makes, and what I mean by that is he threw into triple coverage. He obviously was just throwing to a spot on the field, and that was a spot on the field where a bunch of defenders converged, and so that was probably a decision that when Harris watches film will want back, and he got very fortunate that Marcellus Owens did not complete that play with an interception.
Freshman Ben Harris entered the ballgame with 4 passing touchdowns, and he already has 4 passing touchdowns here with 4.5 minutes to play in the first half.
Yep. When they spread you like this 2 by 2, there are matchups all over the field.
2nd down 10. Harris will throw for it. Far side, caught down immediately. I believe that's Bills, number 4 on the far side with the reception, a 5-yard pickup. And this is another different, obviously Gary Rose no longer on the coaching sidelines after retiring last year, but Carl Albert more of an air attack as we've seen the last couple of years.
Definitely, it's still predicated on Adrian Taylor running the ball. Because if you've noticed, what they're doing right now is that they're nudge faking, getting that defense to play the run, and then hitting hot patterns off of that, then getting safeties to play the run and throwing it deep. So yes, it is more of a spread, but it's still based on being able to run the ball.
3rd down and 6. They will hand it off to Taylor up the middle. Blue Jays do a pretty good job there as he goes across the 40 to the 38, pickup of 3. Obviously, the Titans will go for it here on 4th down and 3. 3:41 to play until halftime. Carl Albert 34, Guthrie 0.
This reminds you of the OSU receivers in the sense that you have so many weapons that they almost get bored. It's like you don't have enough footballs to go around for all the Diego, Richards, and everybody else around the Taylors. Carl Albert has a tight end to the far side.
4th down and 3. They'll get off to Taylor. He'll stretch it. Cuts up at 35 to the 30. Spins at the 25 to the 20. He's gone. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Adrian Taylor. 38 yards out on a couple of nice plays from the junior.
Mentioned Eric Dickerson. Another, I think, good comparison for him would be an Adrian Peterson type back, where he's just very powerful, runs through tackles. He can also juke you enough to make some guys miss, and then once you misfit and he gets an angle on you, It is golden goalpost. See you later.
I think I like the circle move the best on that one.
Yep. He's got a lot of buttons on that Nintendo controller, doesn't he?
Yeah. Titans on for the PAT. Snap is a little high, but the holder brings it down. The kick is over the rock, and it is good. 41-0 is your score. See where we are on breaks. Is break 6 or 7 next?
Break 6.
Break 6 is next. Let's take it. 3:05 to go until halftime. Carl Albert 41, Guthrie 0. This is Blue Jay Football, 93.7 FM, KSBI.
If it has to do with cars, trucks, RVs, motorcycles, or boats, the Guthrie Tag Agency can do it all. Hello, friends. This is Chris Evans, the voice of the Guthrie Bluejays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new, friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my Pike Pass and car needs so that I can follow the Bluejays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
The latest John Vance Motor scoring summary brought to you by Carl Albert. They go 7 plays, 60 yards. The Adrian Taylor 38-yard touchdown run. That's his second touchdown run of the night. The other one was 71 yards. That's your John Vance Motor scoring summary. Carl Albert kicks off right to left. Filled it now around the 1-yard line, quickly across the 10, 15, 20, breaking a tackle is Marcelo Sowens, breaks another tackle at the 30. And down at the 35-yard line. Blue Jays take over, first down and 10. Alongside Phil Nichols, Craig Fleck, Casey Porter, I'm Chris Evans. We appreciate you tuning us in here tonight on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI. We're also streaming this game worldwide on the YouTube page. If you go to GuthrieSportsPage.com, open up the Guthrie and Carl Albert game story, you will see our video cast there. Of course, you can always go to YouTube.com/Guthrie News to watch the video here. Handoff Jackson Waddell to Gavin Bryson. Goes nowhere. No pickup there on first down. It'll be second down and 10 upcoming. 2:45 and rolling until the Golden Chick halftime show when we get there. Craig Fleck will hop on the microphone and give us some first half stats. We'll also go around some scores from around the state of Oklahoma. Again, it's not a real busy night, 5A.
Yeah. and it is official. I put it in writing today. Craig Fleck is the halftime coordinator. Is that correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Phil Nichols. Did you get Phil's, though?
Yeah, he's a coordinator. He's an on-field coordinator.
Handoff Gavin on second down. And Gavin will get to the 38.
You were the play-by-play and owner. I was the color analyst and engineer. And Phil Nichols was the on-field coordinator. Craig Fleck was the statistician and halftime coordinator. And Phil Nichols, what was he?
Phil, what's your title?
I don't know, but I noticed you and Porter and you both have 2 titles, and the rest of us just have 1. I don't like
that. Craig Fleck has 2.
Third down and 7 for the Blue Jays. At the 38, they need the 45. Jackson has time to throw. Far side, and it's picked off at midfield. Open grass for Diego Richards. He's going to pick off for a pick 6. Diego Richards from 50 yards out.
Is this the best team you've seen in how long? This team would give some of the better Guthrie teams a run for their money, would they not?
Absolutely.
You can throw Dante Foster, Kai Staley, DeMarco Jones, throw them all out there. And this Carl Albert team could match up with them. This is a impressive team.
And their offense has been on the field for a lot of plays, but we really haven't got the.
Nope.
We will talk about it probably as the game goes on, but
they don't have the starting quarterback yet.
Yeah. Carter LaValle, the starting quarterback, hasn't played it down this year due to a broken collarbones. The extra point sails over the rock, and it's good. We'll keep it here with 1:20 to play until halftime. Carl Albert increasing that lead now 48-0, but we haven't got to the secondary, which is loaded with the same players on offense, but on the defensive side, Jason Taylor, Diego Richards, and company. It's just, we haven't talked about any linemen offensively or defensively. The skill set.
They're incredible. Yeah. This is an impressive team. I mean, and to be honest with you, I'm not disappointed in Guthrie. Not in any way, shape, or form. It's 48-0. They're 2 points away from hanging a half 100, but I just don't think there's. That's just how good Carl Albert is. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, this is just a superior football team. They're playing on one field, and everybody else, not just Guthrie, everybody else in the state of Oklahoma, I think, is going to be playing on another.
Again, the
Did they beat Owasso?
Carl Albert?
Yes. Did you get something in your ear there?
I got two things in my ear, yeah.
From Phil Nichols, of course. Yeah. Owasso is Phil Nichols' 6A1 pick to win the state championship.
Phil?
Hey, I'll say this. They have, as far as skilled kids, I think you can put them against anybody. I think what would keep them from beating the teams like that are the big uglies up front in the depth. But
we saw that last week at Stillwater, didn't we?
But as far as skilled kids, you're right, Casey. These cats are everywhere.
How deep do they go in the skill?
8, 9. Sky kick, fair catch call for it, and retrieved at the 29-yard line. And then we have a late hit as we had a fair catch by the Jays and then hit after making the fair catch. I think that was Guggesberg who got hit.
Yeah.
And so the 15-yard penalty upcoming for the Titans.
Yeah, and again, Guthrie with 1:20 left. Carl Albert, you would not think, would use their timeouts. Guthrie probably just run it
after
a couple
the play.
of times.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Late hit on the kicking team. First down.
Just run the ball a couple times and get to halftime and try to figure out some small victories that you can obtain in the second half.
Minute 20 until halftime. So the Golden Chick halftime show. Again, scores around the state of Oklahoma. We'll see how my Union Redskins are doing, how Phil's Owasso Rams are doing. And
how about my Stillwater Pioneers?
Your Nears are playing Deer Creek tonight in Edmond.
They're going to win.
And
Broken Arrow getting
see
their
if
first
Jinx
win.
can get in the win column. They're 0-4.
And Broken Arrow, both trying to get their first win of the year.
First down 10, handoff. I believe that's going to be Justin Adams for a couple of yards from the 44 to the 46. Not much happening as Justin gets his first carry of the night.
When was the last time that going into the fourth week of the season, both Jinx and Broken Arrow both were looking for their first victory of the season?
I think dinosaurs were on the land at the time. Not too many people probably feeling too sorry for them.
No.
Second down at 7.
When Guthrie has games like this, there's nobody going to feel sorry for the Blue Jays.
Jackson lead play up the middle. You get the midfield for a 3-yard pickup.
Those plays right there when you're down 48-0 and their lead plays right up the middle and you get hit, they hurt a lot worse in these type of games.
They hurt and sting.
You don't feel them whenever you got the adrenaline of a really close game, but when it gets to be like this and you lose a little bit of that adrenaline, those plays hurt real bad.
17 seconds on the game clock. I don't think the Blue Jays will take another snap. They are happy to get to halftime. And
is it time for a halftime coordinator to take over?
It's, this reminds me of the JT Realmoto game in 2009.
It reminds you of 09 when Trevante Porter came to the Rock. And really, I mean, they could have named their score, and really not a whole lot the Blue Jays could do about it.
We're at halftime officially on the scoreboard. All Titans here tonight. They have a 48-0 halftime lead. They led 27-0 after quarter number 1. Well, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have our Golden Chick halftime show. Greg Fleck will join me. We'll take a look at some of the stats and numbers, and we'll dive into football. We talk a lot of 6A, but we'll also talk 4A, 3A, 2A, all the good stuff, all the big games tonight as many teams open up district play. Timeout from Jelsma Stadium. Halftime score, Carl Albert 48, Guthrie 0. This is Blue Jay football on the Blue Jay Radio Network.
Looking to go inside Blue Jay athletics? Log on to GuthrieSportsPage.com and get all the information on all the Blue Jay events. GuthrieSportsPage.com is your source for all Blue Jay information. Visit the ever-growing SoundCloud page and listen to pre- and post-game interviews, player spotlights, and complete game recaps. GuthrieSportsPage.com provides a link to listen to the Blue Jays streaming live over the World Wide Web and has pre- and post-game stories for your reading enjoyment. GuthrieSportsPage.com, your source for all Blue Jay information.
This is Craig Fleck. Stay tuned after the break when Phil Nichols will join me for first half stats and more on the Golden Chick Halftime Show.
I guess every slush flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically slush headquarters.
For sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
Well, not if Lemonberry has anything to say about it.
Oh, Lemonberry, you're already sour. Come to the sour side.
Never. I'll never join you.
Refreshment just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds candy. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
Golden Chick halftime show in Jelsma Stadium. My favorite hometown, Guthrie, Oklahoma. Blue Jays down at halftime by a score of 48-0. Along with Jordan back in our Stillwater studio. Phil Nichols on the sideline, Craig Fleck on the stats, Casey Porter to my right. I'm Chris Evans. We're glad to have you again on 93.7 FM KSBI. We're also streaming this game worldwide on Guthrie Sports page and Guthrie News page, as well as the video stream with Kevin Roach, the video coordinator here on Guthrie Radio. If you're at home watching on the YouTube feed, the Guthrie High School band, or excuse me, the Carl Albert High School marching band will play here at halftime. The Blue Jay band will follow after that. So that would be the sounds behind our voices here on the Golden Chick halftime show. We invite you out to Golden Chick. Boy, they got specials every day of the week. We've hit them up twice this week. That's how good they are. The boys love the chicken tenders, the mashed potatoes, the gravy, the corn out there. Lula, one of the best managers in the state of Oklahoma. That Golden Chick in Guthrie at I-35 and Highway 33. One of the top producing Golden Chicks in the nation. Golden Chick based out of the Dallas area, and the Guthrie location been around for a couple years, and they are one of the best in sales, and the customer service is even better than that. So we invite you out there to see Lula and the crew.
Now I want to roll.
How can I forget about the rolls? Yeah, we order all our food, then we order a dozen of rolls because everyone loves the dozen of rolls. That's the voice of Craig Fleck, and Craig. The numbers aren't going to be pretty. The numbers aren't pretty on the scoreboard, but
you sure you want me to go over these?
Well, I think we have to. I think if we were winning 48-0, we'd definitely go over them. So we have to be fair and balanced here. But again, this is all the credit to a very talented Carl Albert Ball Club.
Absolutely, as they go 387 total yards in that first half on 31 plays. That's 12.5 yards per snap for the Carl Albert offense. Excuse me there. For the Blue Jays, 30 yards of total offense on 23 plays. That's 1.3 yard per play. 252 through the air for Carl Albert, 135 on the ground. So fairly balanced, but boy, those big passing plays has certainly shown up. Jason Taylor has
out to the 10 center field to the 15. Gets it to the near side 20, 25, 30. Has room to run. 40, 45 midfield. One guy to beat at the 40. And from behind, Marcellus Owens will get Diego Richards in
all over the field. But I would say they're probably at least 5 or 6 deep at the wide receiver position. We've definitely seen that with Richards, with Beals, with several others who've done an incredible job receiving the football. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. As rushing the football, 135 yards for Carl Albert on 10 attempts. That's 13.5 yards per carry. Blue Jays only 13 yards on the ground on 14 attempts, so less than 1 yard per carry. 17 yards through the air on 2 of 9 passing. That includes a touchdown, an interception that ended up being a pick 6 for Carl Albert. Looking down time possession, Carl Albert edges that as well, 12.5 minutes to just over 10 minutes for the Blue Jays. 13 first downs for Carl Albert, only 2 for the Blue Jays. Carl Albert 3 of 5 on third down, but 2 of 2 on fourth down. Blue Jays 2 of 8 on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth down. And Carl Albert yet to punt the football in this game. As we look down at some individual numbers, Dadrian Taylor, 7 carries for 130 yards. That's 18.5 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns.
Jason Taylor, leading receiver, 5 catches, 68 yards, 3 touchdowns. Of course, Diego Richards, 3 catches for 90 yards, so he's the leading receiver yardage-wise, averaging 30 yards per reception. Beals with a couple catches in there. Zane Alexander with some big chain-moving catches as well. So 5 different receivers, including 2 different touchdown receivers, as Dadrian Taylor also caught a touchdown pass. Hector Gooseby is leading tackler for the Blue Jays, and that is your first half stats for the Jays.
Yeah, entering the ballgame again, freshman quarterback Ben Harris took over for the injured Carter LaValle, who is available. Obviously won't play tonight, but is available now. Coach Corley has an interesting decision to make there. Obviously, LaValle, a much stronger athlete right now than Ben Harris is. Ben will be a good one as he matures through the years. Carter, a senior, and has a stronger arm, but it's going to be an interesting decision there for Coach Corley to make that move. I don't think you can go wrong either way. But
well, I think at this point, when you're looking at this game, you're going to be calling off the dogs anyway. It's a good chance, if LaValle's ready to go, to get him some snaps and get him in the flow of the game where there's not going to be a lot of pressure. Get him back in the groove to where maybe next week or in 2 weeks when you're going up against McGinnis, then you have a decision to make. Right now, I think is a good opportunity just to get LaValle some snaps and get him back into the flow.
Yeah, Ben Harris, the freshman quarterback, entered the ballgame with 4 passing touchdowns on the season. He has 4 here at halftime. 3 to Jason Taylor, 1 to Dadrian Taylor. And that's the good thing about a freshman quarterback. I mean, I can go play quarterback for the Titans and just throw it up to these receivers and hand it off to this running back. Really, I couldn't do that. But he does throw a good ball. And Phil, I mean, it's not the prettiest form right now. I think that will come. It's not the prettiest form, but what he's been able to do is just to drop it into the hands of the receivers.
He's got tremendous touch, Chris. And I'll tell you what, this kid, 3 years, the sophomore, junior, senior campaign, he's going to be one of the best in the state if things continue to go the way they are. I mean, he's a special kid.
Of course, looking toward next year, you still have Dadrian Taylor coming back as well. So, the running game will always benefit the passing game. But
the only thing with Harris right now is on some of his intermediate routes, he doesn't set his feet and ends up throwing it a little bit high. He kind of sails his intermediate routes a little bit. That's the only thing on him, though. His deep balls are great. He puts it right where it needs to go. And he's been really good decision-making wise as well. It's just he kind of sails his intermediate routes a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that will come with time. Again, he was playing junior.
Just a maturity.
Yeah, absolutely. He was playing junior high football this time a year ago. Again, this is the Golden Chick Halftime Show. Carl Albert Titans lead the Guthrie Bluejays here at the break, 48-0. Carl Albert marching band on the field, and then the Guthrie band will take over that afterwards. And we might have a touch longer halftime show than normal, but we'll definitely work with what is. We have no choice, so we got to.
Can't broadcast a game that's not being played.
Absolutely. So with that, those were the stats and numbers of the first half. We're going to take a timeout here on the Golden Chick Halftime Show. When we come back, we'll take a look at some scores around the state of Oklahoma, see how the other teams are doing in Class 5A football, 6A, and all over the state of Oklahoma. We'll do that after this timeout. This is the Golden Chick Halftime Show.
These tenders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
This is the Golden Chick Halftime Show.
John Vance Auto Group is proud to be a sponsor of Guthrie High School football. We're all about Guthrie and the people who live here.
It's all true started with looking at our competitors and watching some of this, what I call geeky advertising that is not true. Our it is true deal is the fact that when we tell you something, it's really true, everything we do. And the people that talk about us and the things that you're told by your neighbors, believe it, we do take care of our customers.
John Vance Auto Group.
Pistol formation. Play action pass caught by Alexander. Marcellus Owens trying to hold on for dear life as
Golden Chick
Alexander
halftime
gets
show.
across the 45 to the 4. Chris Evans, Casey Porter, Phil Nichols, Craig Flake with you, along with Jordan in our Stillwater studio. Glad to have you on board. Carl Everett leading the Blue Jays by a score of 48-0. Time now to take a look at some scores in the state of Oklahoma. We'll start in Class 6A football. Phil Nichols. Broken Arrow Tigers looks like they're on their way of getting that first win of the year. They're 0-3 in Yukon tonight. Of course, Yukon had the big win over Norman North. Won't be able to produce another big win at home tonight. At halftime, Broken Arrow leads that game 35-6. And again, Broken Arrow played my Union Redskins close in Week 1 on ESPN. We'll see if we can get Phil here in a little bit.
Hey, guys.
Oh, there you are.
Hey, sorry about that.
You're good. Edmond Santa Fe taking on Ed Memorial tonight. Edmond Santa Fe leads that game 27-0. And looks like your Jinx Trojans, Phil, are going to get into the win column tonight. They are winning 34-0 over Norman. Norman making a long trip up there.
I'm just glad we bet on that game, so you got to pay me a meal next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Norman North at halftime leads PC North 15-0. Bixby, Phil, last night drops to Westmore. Westmore, a very talented ball club. They're 4-0. Westmore is 6A Division 1. Bixby 6A Division 2 went out of district play, but Westmore 34-22. So the three-time defending state champions are now 1-3.
1-3, but you know what? And we're evident of this. You know, I mean, one thing I wish more people understood is that in high school football, you're going to go as your kids go. So you're going to see ebb and flow. You're going to see programs that you're used to see dominating. If the kids aren't there, they're not there. Of course, remember, this is a Bixby team that also beat Jinx.
Yes.
So you know, I mean, it's part of high school football. Sometimes there's going to be things like that happen.
Yeah, Bixby's 1-3. Their only win coming against Jinx.
Yeah, that's not a bad deal. Well, who'd you beat? Jinx.
The Moore Lions taking down Southmore at halftime, 14-0. Owasso taking on Mustang, a team we saw last week, Phil, and this is kind of what we thought. Proctor, the kid, committed to Ohio State. His teammates in the Rams on top of Mustang, 28-14.
Right. I mean, it's just going to, you know, of course, you know how I feel about Owasso. I think they're going to be there at the end of the year and should be probably against Union. And it's going to be a heck of a ball. But Coach Blankenship's got them going and going in the right way in a big way.
Coach Blankenship's former team, Tulsa Union, took down Edmond North last night. The score there was 35-9. Some 6A Division II ball games. Booker T. Washington shutting out Ponca City in Ponca City, 56-0 at halftime. Rafe Watkins and the Muskogee Roughers leading Bartlesville 29-0. Midwest City and Lawton, perhaps the game of the week in the state of Oklahoma, as the Bombers making the trip to Lawton and have a 14-point lead, 27-13. Sand Springs on top at half in Sapulpa, 17-0. No score reporting in the Stillwater Deer Creek game. Pump City leads Choctaw 17-3 at half. Pump City West leads Enid in the second quarter, 35-7. And again, Phil, looking at Enid, we saw them in Week 1, and they had a good win against Ponca in Week 2. Lost them against last week. The wins are going to be hard to come for the rest of the season for the Plainsmen.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be without, obviously, their star player, who was unfortunately hurt in the ball game against us. But, you know, they're not, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
you know, and they're going to be, like you said, it's going to be tough to get another win.
Moving our way down to Class 5A football, Northwest Classen is at Piedmont. By the way, the next home game will be in 2 weeks against Northwest Classen for homecoming 2017. Piedmont shutting them out 42-0. Pryor leads Tulsa Memorial 33-12. Bishop McGinnis and Woodward, that game's in Woodward tonight, 7-7 ball game, second quarter. Bombers, the Boomers playing toe-to-toe with McGinnis at this time. Lott MacArthur beat Western Heights 41-0. Del City at halftime leads the Altus Bulldogs 21-14. Shawnee hosting East Central on top 14-0. Bishop Kelly at halftime trailing to Collinsville 6-3.
Yeah, and that's you love the Bishop Kelly kids, you know, in the regular season. They get here. They should roll off a lot of wins, and they usually start struggling a little bit when it gets into the third round or so of the playoffs. But good ball club. You know, the East Side is just in 5A, just isn't there.
No. And speaking of East Side, McAllister, they're getting ready right now. If the score stays, they're getting ready to go to 0-4 as they are in Noble tonight, and Noble has a second quarter lead of 14-0. So the Buffaloes, who the Jays have seen many, many times in the playoffs, state championship games, they're on their way to 0-4.
Well, that goes back to what we were just talking about, right? I mean, you live in these small towns, and and you're going to play with what kids you have there, So it's going to happen.
Phil, this score is going to surprise you. I think it's going to really surprise you. In the second quarter, El Reno 7, Ardmore 3.
Yeah, that's a shocker right there. That's a complete shocker.
And
Coach Chuck and his crew got them going on over there, and if they can hold on and win that ball game, boy, that'd be a huge, huge win.
Lawton Eisenhower, the other game to report in 5A, hosting the Guyman Tigers, 14-0. Lawton Eisenhower leads that ball game. Lawton Eisenhower and Guyman both looking for their first win of the season.
Yeah.
Again, here at halftime in Guthrie, Golden Chick halftime show. Carl Albert leads the Guthrie Bluejays by a score of 48-0. Some Class 4A football scores. Clinton hosting Heritage Hall and has a 10-point lead, 24-14. Heritage Hall undefeated.
Now everybody should know who we're pulling for on that ball game. But
Red Tornadoes.
That'd be an incredible win for the Clinton kids.
Tuttle in Blanchard tonight. Blanchard with a second quarter lead of 13-7. Bethany in Ada tonight. That should be a good one. Bethany undefeated. Took the Kingfisher Yellow Jackets big time last week. It's a good one. Ada 14, Bethany 13.
That's a good ball game. Two really good ball clubs, and that'll be a fun one to watch, see how it ends.
My Weatherford Eagles lead your Newcastle Racers, Phil, by a score of 14-0. That is a halftime score.
That's good.
I think so. Of course, Weatherford, led by former Guthrie Blue Jay quarterback Reagan Roof.
Absolutely.
We played some basketball together as well. We sat on the end of the bench and watched some really good basketball players our junior year. Some Class 3A football scores. John Marshall, the Bears, led by Rashawn Woods. They lead Marlowe at halftime 20-0.
John Marshall, the Woods brothers down there, of course. I think some of his brothers help out with the program as well, but just doing really good things down with the John Marshall kids.
Yeah, Devontae Lee, the running back there, the fourth rushing leader in the state of Oklahoma. Of course, DeAdrian Taylor is the number one rusher in the state of Oklahoma. Perkins Tryon looking to get back in the win column. They're in Chandler tonight. At halftime, they lead the Chandler Lions by a score of 20-6. And Prague's at McLeod. Prague wins that, or leading that one 21-8. Okmulgee is in Cushing tonight. Halftime score: Bears shoots Tigers. Looking for the third win. Leads Okmulgee 14-12. And our Kingfisher Yellow Jackets hosting Mount St. Mary's tonight. Halftime score: it's the Jackets 21 and Mount St. Mary's 7. Those are some of the scores in Class 3A football. And then we'll get to the Millwood Class 2A football, and we can fast forward to the state championship here in several weeks. Millwood, who returns 20 of 22 starters, will be hard to overcome this year. But here are some of the other 2A games tonight. Chisholm hosting Newkirk. Chisholm, the Longhorns, lead at halftime 20-0. And we got, I'm just kind of over the high, trying to hit the high points here. Perry is in Talkawal tonight. Perry suffered the first loss last week. Talkawal trying to stay undefeated. It's a halftime score, and the Bucks lead Perry by a score of 35-14. So Perry in danger of dropping 2 ball games in a row after that 3-0 start. Hennessy is at Alva. We talk about Union Broken Arrow schedules. Hennessy might have one of the toughest schedules as well. They're in Alva tonight. Doesn't get easy, but they are in the ball game at halftime. Alva leads Hennessy 21-12. The Gold Bugs in control there. Stroud is at Millwood, and Stroud giving it a good old try there in Oklahoma City. Millwood at halftime leads that game by a score of 36-6. As we go over some scores, that is the Guthrie High School Marching Band in the background playing to a well-packed Jelsma Stadium here tonight, as the Carl Albert Titans in our ball game leads this game by a score of 48-0. Morrison is at Cashion. No score reporting there. Oh, excuse me, Cashion. Look at this score. At halftime, leads the Morrison Wildcats. Wildcats versus Wildcats. Cashion 28, Morrison 6.
Well, I got to say I like that. I called the Cashion boys to win, so I'll have one up on Porter this week.
Of course you did.
Yes, I did.
Our Crescent Tigers, Phil, they're looking to go 5-0. Well, they're about halfway there. In fact, they are at halftime. They lead Oklahoma Bible by a score of 47-0. Phil's already talking about his Cashion Wildcats over your Morrison Wildcats.
That's right.
Oh, are they winning?
The Cashion is.
Yes.
Yeah, 28-6.
Well, we did mention Wednesday night, Phil, that if you get Cashion, you want to get them early in the season because Coach Shackelford, like Crescent's getting them late in the year. They'll get some things figured out as the weeks roll on.
Yeah, Coach Shack's going to make some adjustments, figure things out, and there's a lot of ball game left there. 2 good programs, but I always kind of, if you give Shaq some time to get ready, he's going to get him ready.
Did I remember right? Cashin was shut out week 1, 7-0?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
Yeah.
I know they hadn't scored at halftime.
Well, I'm trying to remember who they played. I'm pretty sure on the score. I just can't remember who they played. So I'm efforting that right as we speak. They got beat by Crossings Christians. They won. Excuse me. They won 7-0. They lost week 2.
Yeah, they were shut out at halftime.
I got my Christian Academy in my Christian schools. It was Oklahoma Christian Academy who defeated Cashin in week 2. So the Wildcats on their way, we think, of winning 3 in a row. We'll see how it plays out.
Badly.
We will move down to Class B football here quickly and see if anything sticks out to us here on some games in our listening area. Not seeing anything. Davenport, big at halftime, 44-0.
Phil, do you know Davenport's mascot?
The Davenport.
The Bulldogs.
Well, he didn't let me finish. Okay, go ahead.
Well, do you know their mascot?
The Bulldogs.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, I need about 10 minutes, Casey.
Okay.
Talk about Prue beating Westland Christian 48-6. I'll give it to you.
Oh, boy.
What did he just say?
I don't know, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Hey, I believe he was just talking about Prue.
Yeah. I'll leave that with you, Craig. How's that?
Now, did we ever decide if Prue actually exists?
It does. And Prue and McLeod, those are the two towns, I should say, that everybody's heard of and nobody's ever been to. And we asked the question the other night in the high school huddle, is there any human being on earth that has both been to and can explain how to get to both Prue and McLeod?
And I said yes. Sam Rice.
Yes.
And Don Harden.
And Hetty Honeycutt.
Sure.
I'm calling them all 3 liars.
I'm not.
You're
telling
not,
you
okay.
right now. No, I'm not.
You know better than that, huh?
Well, I know that the 2 I mentioned, I could say, hey, does anybody know where it is? And they're down to you turn on Sycamore Street, you go half a block up, there's going to be a blue truck on the right side. I mean, yeah, they're good. So
well, I've been to some places in the middle of nowhere. Never been to Prue, never been to McLeod.
I'm telling you. Nor could you even tell us how to get there.
And what's weird about it is I've been to Prue, but not McLeod.
You've been to Prue? Well, you wanted to go, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to see it.
You
wanted to make sure it existed.
Right.
I've been to neither one of those.
It's northeast somewhere, isn't it?
Kingstone.
It is over by Tulsa.
Up on a hill.
Yes, up on a hill, I think. I mean, this is all.
I've driven by the turn.
In theory, right?
I've seen a sign for it somewhere.
I think we're going to set a record for Prue, Oklahoma being Googled tonight.
Yes, when is the high school huddle?
Every Wednesday night, 6 to 7, right here on 93.7 FM, KSBI.
That's the kind of stuff you get right there, right?
Absolutely.
Prue Rocket Talk.
Prue Rockets.
Prue Rocket Talk. It's Rocket Talk.
Chris, is that where that Wednesday night show, is that where I get all my predictions right in case he doesn't get his right?
Well, you make sure to tell me what we talked about before we even go on the air.
Oh, okay.
So we can only talk about your wins.
So you're telling me that all of the towns that you have clients in have all won all of their games this year? Is that what's happened?
Well, if they haven't, I'm sure going to tell you they have.
And see, he'll take our production here and edit it and before he gets on back on.
How was that salad last week, Phil?
It was incredible.
Oh, okay, good.
Chris, thank you for the passes. I much appreciate it.
Absolutely. With that, we're going to take a break and take your batteries out of your microphone. Carl Everett and Guthrie have made their way back onto the field. So
I was thinking about going to the OSU game tomorrow and paying for my own gas. How about that?
We're just a few moments away from kicking off the second half. When we come back, Ezra Shkreli's keys to the second half as well as the Mercy Health Report. All that after this timeout. This is the Golden Chick Halftime Show.
When it comes to Guthrie Bluejay athletics, Hayes Funeral Home is a proud supporter from the first game all the way to the championship game. Along with many years of experience in funeral service, the Hayes family brings compassion and professional service during difficult times. Owners Chuck and Lynette Hayes take pride in providing families and their loved ones quality care. Chuck and Lynette have not only supported families in the Guthrie area for countless years, but have supported Guthrie student athletes succeeding on the playing field and in the classroom. Hayes Funeral Home is located on the corner of Noble and Wentz, or simply give them a call at 405-282-3100.
The Golden Chick Halftime Show rolls on with the John Vance Auto Group scoring summary after this.
I'm Mike Gundy, head football coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Respect of the opponent, spectators, coaches, and officials is necessary at all levels of athletics and activity programs. Your conduct is a direct reflection of you, your community, and your school. Sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. Do the right thing.
Welcome back, Golden Chick halftime show. And Casey, if we can get back to our production here, we need to get the final 10 real quick. We need to get one more timeout taken here. So if you can cue up break 10, I think we're going to miss the kickoff, but okay.
Hold on.
It's football broadcast.
Well, yeah, I was going to. Okay.
Phil, before we get into.
Here we go. Ready?
You know what, Phil?
Yes, sir.
Hold that thought. We got to take one more break.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When we come back, it's second half action between Guthrie and Carl Albert. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 in the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
The Golden Chick halftime show continues. Coming up next, we get you ready with the Eskridge Chevrolet keys to the second half, as well as the Mercy Health Report.
These tenders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
We're set for second half action alongside Phil Nichols, Trey Blake, Casey Porter. I'm Chris Evans. Carl Albert Titans will kick off right to left on the radio dial, perhaps your YouTube page. Blue Jays will receive the kick here, down 48-0. Come up here on Man Remotes, we'll get Phil's Mercy Health Report as the Titans kick off here. It's a short kick, fielded at the 18-yard line. Here's a return on the far side, quickly to the 25 and out near the 30-yard line. 12-yard return for the Blue Jays. Downstairs with Phil Nichols, Mercy Health Report.
Chris, all is the same as the beginning of the ball game. No new injuries to report. Everybody's hanging right in there. Isaac looks great on that ankle, so good news for the Blue Jays and nothing to report on the other side.
Absolutely appreciate that report downstairs, Phil and Casey. It's not about a win here in the second half, but we've got to have your Eskridge Chevrolet's keys for the second half.
Oh, I have to do that? Okay.
Yes. This piece of paper says yes, you have to, and you have to give it with all your heart.
Maybe some awkward silence might change the fact. No, seriously. Run the ball. Find some small victories. Get your first down. Of course, you had one first down, and you backed it up with a penalty, but get some first downs, get your first score on the board, then get a couple of stops.
There's a good play right there. Jackson Waddell hits the receiver at the 40-yard line, then advances the ball to the 45. It's a 14-yard pickup. For the Blue Jays, Marcellus Owens, his 4th catch of the season.
We did mention in the first half, if you remember, that if the Blue Jays are going to make some hay on first down, they need to start throwing the ball a bit more on first down, just getting away from that rush and getting away from that front 6, front 7 for the Titans.
First down and 10. Jackson takes out of belly out of Gavin, and Jackson gets back to the line of scrimmage. Jackson having a hard time getting going offensively.
Yeah, and those ride plays for the quarterback where, you're reading either drop play or an end or whoever you're reading, they usually work, but not against a Carl Albert type team, because what they can do is they can take an outside linebacker and just literally put him one-on-one on your running back and then play everybody else on your quarterback.
That 14-yard catch by Marcellus, about almost half the yards the Jays had in the entire first half. Second down and 10. Hand off to Gavin, left side. He has room to run. He gets the midfield, lowers the shoulder, gets to the Carl Albert 46-yard line. And Gavin and the Blue Jays 1 yard away from a first down after a 9-yard pickup by Gavin. Ran the ball hard and lowered the shoulder and picked up a yard.
In the early 2000s when OU used to play Texas, and they'd spread out the Longhorns, and then Quentin Griffin would always make that first linebacker miss, and it'd go for 15 yards. That's what this read game, and right here we see Jackson Medell run the ball. That's what it's meant to do, is to get a quarterback isolated against a linebacker and or a running back, let them make a guy miss, and then get the yardage from that concept. But when you have athletes as talented as Carl Albert has, you don't make that guy miss, and so those plays don't work.
Jackson needed 1, picks up 3. It's a first down for the Blue Jays, the third of the game. 2 in the first half. First down and 10, just underway here in the third quarter. Option play. Jackson will option it off at the last second. He'll do that to Gavin, and Gavin goes out of bounds. After about a 2-yard pickup, he'll get to the 41-yard line.
That's another concept that, typically speaking, does not work against the speed of a Titan-type team, is any kind of option play, because it runs sideways. Anything that runs sideways allows that speed for Carl Albert to take over, and that's obviously a huge advantage that's going to be on their side of the field all night.
Titans have several backup players on the defensive side of the ball. Jason Taylor and Diego Richards among the starters not in the ball game to start this second half. Second down and 8 play, hand off to Gavin. Tries the left side, gets across the 40, gets to the 38, maybe 3 yards at most. So it'll be a third down and 5 for the Jays. 9:53 to play here in the third quarter. Opening possession for the Jays here in the second half.
Isaac Lewis seeing some offensive time for the Blue Jays. I do believe this is his first offensive. No, he played some in the first half. You got Marcellus Owens, Isaac Lewis to the same side of the field, the two most explosive players for the Blue Jays.
Jackson looks to the near side, fires. Isaac comes back, gets the football. Now turns, gets to the 30. Made a nice spin move and down at the 29-yard line. 9-yard pickup for the Blue Jays, and they'll have a first down at the Carl Albert 29.
Kind of like late in the game where everybody's worn down a little bit. You bring a guy in who hasn't played all night, and it just looks like he's running a 4-4 and everybody else is running in mud because they're fresh. Isaac looked like that on that in particular play, in the sense that this is his first set of action. Everybody else a little bit beat up, seeing that it's the 4th game of the season. He looked really quick after he caught that football.
Gavin on first down, across the 25, down to the 23, close to a 6-yard pickup for Gavin Bryson along that right side. Offensive line for the Blue Jays, and the Jays a few yards away from the red zone.
This is the part of the game that will show you how well coached this Guthrie Blue Jay football team is, when Carl Albert has kids in there that actually allows Guthrie the ability to compete at a competitive level that they're capable of competing at, and you'll start to see the X's and O's pay off for the Blue Jays at this point.
Dane Jenkins in at tight end on the left side next to the left tackle Jamal Ronas. 2 receivers to the far side. 1 to the near, that's Isaac Lewis on the bottom of your screen. Jackson keeps it up the middle, over right guard should say. Gets to the 18-yard line. Needed 4, picks up 6, and the Blue Jays will move the chains. First down and 10 inside the red zone.
Well, that little sucker will duck his head up in there and get that first down for you, won't he? That's a tough little dude, Jackson Medell we're talking about. Bill, say hi to the bird walking right next to you.
Bird, bird, bird.
I bet the bird's hot.
Yeah, a little bit. Real hot basketball games.
First down and 10, Gavin up the middle. He'll get upended at the 15-yard line after a 3-yard pickup. Jays chip away at this Titan defense, looking for the first points of the night as they make their way toward the north end zone. The baseball lights are on for the added light. A lot of kids in the outfield, left field, and right field playing tonight.
Beautiful scene, isn't it?
It really is.
It's one of a kind.
It's kind of got that small town feel, but more people, obviously.
It does.
Pistol formation. Gavin Bryson, the running back. Jackson leads the way with an option. Gavin does a good job of catching with one hand on the option to avoid the turnover. And Gavin gets back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd down and 6, 7:10 to play here in the third quarter.
Of course, you can tell that you're from Oklahoma because to 99.9% of people.
93.7.
Yeah, 93.7% of people in America, Guthrie is a small town, right?
Yeah.
93.7. Where'd you get that number from?
It's just a random number.
Random number, okay.
Well, it's my favorite number, so. Jackson Waddell will try to throw it on the run, throws it into the end zone looking for Marcellus Owens. And cannot make the catch. Even if he does make the catch, he's going to fall back of the end zone, incomplete. And now the Jays will obviously go for it here on 4th down and 6.
You need to know how athletic Jackson Waddell is. He just outran and then outmaneuvered an outside linebacker that was trying to track him down, and then got off a pass and had enough mustard on it to throw it about 35 yards in the air. That was an impressive looking play, and the Blue Jays looking just to get points on the board.
David Vargas on for the field goal, a 30-yard field goal attempt. David's 3 for 3 this year. He's hit along a 43. He's just a junior. He's 5 of 6 this season. Snap is good. The kick is plenty long enough that he split the uprights. He did. David Vargas puts the Blue Jays on the board with a 30-yard field goal. Cuts the lead down to 45 for the Titans. 48-3. Take a timeout. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
At Terra Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans. Jason Herzl, Dennis Oakes, and Seth Robbins. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
If it has to do with cars, trucks, RVs, motorcycles, or boats, the Guthrie Tag Agency can do it all. Hello, friends. This is Chris Evans, the voice of the Guthrie Bluejays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new, friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my Pike Pass and car needs so I can follow the Blue Jays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division. Blue Jays on the scoreboard. David Vargas from 30 yards out makes it a 48-3 ball game. David Vargas now 4 for 4 on field goals this year. Blue Jays go 55 yards. Casey, 12 plays, took 5 minutes, 27 seconds off the clock. That's your John Vance Motors scoring summary.
Looked good doing it. Threw it a little bit, rolled out a little bit, ran the ball some.
Kick return from the 23 across the 30 and upended at the 35-yard line after a 12-yard return. And here comes the Titans for the first time offensively. Again, Carl Everett not playing very many starters on defense. We'll see how they come out here offensively. Do you get Carter LaValle any game time?
I think the only way he was going to play is if they got spooked and needed him to win the game. I do not think he'll play under these circumstances. You have too many opportunities down the stretch against the Guymans and Woodwards to get him going for the playoffs, which is the only goal. I'll tell you another thing that Blue Jay offense did. They killed half the quarter. 6:24 to go, at least almost half the quarter, and chewed up a lot of that clock. So that was a great drive, schemed up by Coach Mick at halftime.
Third string quarterback in the ball game. He'll hand it off to number 4, Chris Vills along the right side, and he'll try to stretch it out on that far side, but lost a half a yard. The third string quarterback is Wiley Sellers. He's a 5'8" senior, 170 pounds. So
who would probably start for about 93.7 of the high school football percent of the football teams in Oklahoma, but when you play for Carl Albert and you're this good, you're the third string guy, right?
Absolutely. So Carter LaValle, although dressed out, this was about the closest as he could come back from that collarbone injury. So why not give it at least another week off before you maybe throw him in there against Bishop McGuinness in a district championship type ball game here in a couple of weeks as Lewis gets the carry up the middle. He'll go from the 35 to the 39, a 4-yard pickup.
We got to see him a couple weeks ago, but I promise you Carl Albert could throw out a bunch of ninth graders and you wouldn't know it. They are ultra. Did you see that team they brought in here a couple weeks ago? They would look better than 93.7% of all the other high school teams too, just throwing all their freshmen out. You've already seen their quarterback.
I like 93.7. Can't use it here. You look at Leo Hayes, big number 70, 6'4", 340. There's not 93.7% of guys that look like that.
No. There's 93.7% of guys that don't.
Lewis on 3rd down and 6 will be stopped, and it looks like the Titans will have to punt for the first time here tonight.
And like you said, you mentioned the Chevrolet keys to the second half, and it was first of all to get your first points on the board. Guthrie offense did that, and then it's to get you a stop, something that you were not able to do in the first half. Those are the small victories that you're playing towards to make yourself better for the last 6 weeks of the season. Again, Bishop McGuinness will not be this good next week. I can't imagine them being this good. Could you?
The Piedmont transfer is pretty good. I mean, that's what you got to stop.
Yeah.
But
Carl Albert has about 7 or 8 of those kind of guys.
Absolutely, they do. Carl Albert punts it away. Takes a Carl Albert bounce. It'll go across the 30 and will be stopped at the 29-yard line by number 4, Chris Steele. So the Blue Jays back on the offense for the second time after that 32-yard punt, no return. Blue Jays put 3 points on the board on their last drive. We'll see what happens here with 4:07 to play in the third quarter. Again, Carl Albert on top, 48-3.
Guthrie got a little play-action game going on first down on the last possession, and Carl Albert playing their 6 guys, sometimes 7 in the box. The Blue Jays were able to have success with it. I wonder if the Blue Jays try to take a deep shot before too long, but none of the deep shot guys for the Blue Jay receiving corps out there as we speak.
Option play, Jackson will keep it. Gavin Bryson leads the way. And Jackson is at 40. He's at the midfield, 45-40 down the Guthrie sideline and out of bounds at the Carl Albert 35-yard line. Biggest play from scrimmage tonight for the Blue Jays.
Kid's fast, I'm telling you. He outran the defense to the corner. And we saw him last year on that wash play at Carl Albert. Remember that? Where it was that little read play and he pulled it down the far boundary on the, what would that be, the east side of the stadium, the visitor side, and outran the entire defense all the way down that sideline to score.
36-yard pickup for Jackson Waddell. First down and 10 from the Titan 35-yard line. 3 receiver set. Halfback Chris Rainey on the left side will pull to the right side, blocking for Gavin Bryson. Gavin takes it from the 35 to the 31-yard line. Well, let's see if they give him the 30.
Left guard Johnny Scroggins, H-back Parker Rainey, both pulling around on that counter play. I love that play. And again, I know I said it a million times, but back to the short side of the field where you can outnumber the defense. You tilt it to the wide side, then you run pull scheme back to the short side, you outnumber the defense, and you get 4 yards on first down. Great concept.
Second down, 6, 10 seconds on the play clock. Blue Jays to the line of scrimmage. 3 receiver set. Rainey lines up on the left side. Could have been a flag. Not thrown, though, as Jackson will lower the shoulder, get to the 25. Took a big hit there. It's a 6-yard pickup, close to a first down. It's going to be 5 officially, so it'll be 3rd down and 1.
Well, every time when it's 45-point spread and I see him lower his helmet like that, just...
You think about a diving play up the middle? That's a short stop for the Blue Jay baseball team.
Yep.
3 minutes to go in the third. First down and 10. It's at the Titan 25-yard line. Again, the Blue Jays will be on the road next week at Bishop McGuinness. Bishop McGuinness in a dogfight right now with the Woodward Boomers.
Really?
7-7 last score near halftime.
Of course, Woodward, you know, we talk about these flex bones that Ardmore and Altus is running. UConn now.
UConn big at halftime as Gavin Bryson takes it from the 25 up to the 18-yard line. Nice 7-yard run for Gavin.
Woodward's taking it one step further. They're not even running the flex bone. They're running old-fashioned wing tee football like the Morrison Wildcats. I mean, it's something that defensive coordinators are like, what? I mean, literally, there's no defensive coordinator that was alive the last time teams ran the wing tee. So they're having to go back to the grandpas and everybody else to figure out how to scheme this thing. They didn't have YouTube back when they ran the wing tee.
Gavin Bryson, second down, 30 play, gets close to the first down marker. He's going to be a little bit shy, I think, depending on the spot. So could be 3rd down and less than a yard. Wing tee takes me back to Evans Field in Harrah, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Back in the day when we made that trip.
Yeah, and it makes for some awesome summertime 7-on-7 drills. I love that kind of football. If there's a little bit of play action to it, I love watching those academies and all the misdirection, and the flex bone does a lot. And then the wing tee, obviously, we haven't seen a whole lot of. The flex bone is a variation of it, but...
3rd down and 1. Blue Jays will go with Jackson Waddell up the middle, and he second and third effort will get him across the 15. That's a first down as Jackson's able to get to the 14-yard line toward that north end zone.
I know there is one human being on earth that will know how to stop, and that's Kelly Beebe. I don't care what run scheme you throw out there, he will figure out a way to shut it down if he has the athletes to do so.
High school and college, you're still looking for that one defensive guru to find a way to
beat the spread. Yeah, well, the problem is if you go to the state of Texas and all these high school states that run the spread, they put all their best athletes on offense.
Justin Adams up the middle over left guard as he takes it from the 14 to about the 12-yard line. A 2-yard pickup for Justin Adams. Again, the Blue Jays now 48-3. 41 seconds left here in the third quarter.
The problem with this spread offense, it's not like the Texas Techs of the world, like OU used to run. It's not the air raid type deals anymore. You see the H-backs, and you see very physical downhill rushing games, but out of spread formation. So they spread you thin, but then they have numbers still with fullbacks and H-backs to lead block and run power football. It's very tough.
From the 13, second down and 8, Jackson Waddell on a lead play, gets inside the 10, and he'll move the feet to the 5-yard line. Carver takes it away, and the Titans are going to go all the way to the end zone. They simply took it out of the hands of Jackson Waddell, and this is going to be a 90-yard return for the Carl Albert Titans. 95 yards officially, and that's the way we end the third quarter with the PAT upcoming. Simply took it away.
Nothing else you can say. It's kid trying to make a play, man. Kid trying his hardest and his darndest for this Blue Jay program, trying to make a play.
Taking it away for the Titans was number 19.
Yeah. How many times do you see those fumbles on second effort? Number 19.
Taylor. Imagine that, another Taylor. Trailer, excuse me, this one's a trailer. I'm completely off. Jevion Trailer, the sophomore, took it away from Jackson Waddell for a 95-yard score. Titans on top 54-3 with the PAT upcoming.
Seems like it's always that second effort that gets you.
Line drive, extra point is good. Titans 55, Guthrie 3. That's the end of the third quarter. Come back, get set for fourth quarter action. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
John Vance Auto Group is proud to be a sponsor of Guthrie High School football.
The John Vance Auto Group is 100% family-owned. My children, Megan and Garrett, both participate in this ownership, as well as my nephew, Derek, who runs our Miami store. And I think we go about the old golden rule. How do we want to be treated in these situations? We sell cars, but we are in the people business. Taking care of people is what it's all about. And it's a family tradition with each and every one of them, including myself.
John Vance Auto Group.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
Carl Albert Titans back on the scoreboard. Devion Trailer took it away, simply took it out of the hands of Jackson Waddell, who was making a second effort. Jackson was almost down to the ground when Trailer took it away out of his hands and ran for a 95-yard touchdown. That's the second defensive score tonight for the Carl Albert Titans, who increased their lead now over the Blue Jays 55-3. Carl Albert's come in here into Guthrie before and done this, not quite this level. Last time Carl Albert did that, JT Realmoto, who's now the starting catcher for the Florida Marlins, and Trevante Porter and a whole bunch of those players came into Jelsma and had a similar game here. Of course, last year Carl Albert took down the Jays 45-7. Sky kick for the Titans, fielded by Isaac Lewis at the 27. Backpedals, gets to the 30, 35, to the 40. Blue Jay sideline, 45, midfield, and into the Carl Albert territory. Nice return for Isaac Lewis. That's the way we begin the fourth quarter here in Jelsma Stadium. Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI, Stillwater, Oklahoma. Alongside Phil Nichols, Craig Fleck, Kevin Roach, Casey Porter. I'm Chris Evans. We welcome you here, 93.7 FM. Streaming worldwide, GuthrieSportsPage.com, GuthrieNewsPage.com. And on YouTube.com/Guthrie News. If you want to watch the video of this, just go to Guthrie Sports Page, open up the game story between Guthrie and Carl Albert. It's right there.
I'm curious to know when the last time Guthrie gave up 55 points at home.
55 points, period.
Yeah.
Been a while. I have it, but it's at home.
Yeah. I thought everything was at your fingertips anymore with the advent of cloud storage and internet and everything like that.
I need to put it in there. First down and 10 for the Blue Jays from the Carl Albert 48-yard line. Gavin Bryson on the right side has room to run across the 40, spins to the 35, down near the 33-yard line. Gavin Bryson close to a 15-yard pickup for the Blue Jays, making their way toward the north end zone, toward that 30-foot sandstone wall, the Rock.
And if you remember on the south end in the first quarter, Carl Albert ran that dart play where you pull a tackle, you give the running back the ball going to his right, your tackle pulls back to left, then your running back puts his foot in the ground, gets behind the pulling tackle, and it's a good misdirection play. That's exactly what Guthrie ran with Gavin Bryson and Jamal Ronas pulling in front of him.
Chris Rainey leading the way from the halfback spot for Justin Adams, the running back. He's met with contact as he gets across the 30-yard line, down to near about the 26-yard line, about a 7-yard pickup for Justin Adams. Gavin Bryson will check back into the lineup.
Parker Rainey from his H-back spot does a wonderful job of lead blocking, pulling. This time it was Justin Ergang from his right guard spot that had the duty of pulling.
Got to tell you, the Blue Jays were living large last night. South Point Baptist Church, formerly known as Guthrie Bible Baptist Church, hosted the T-Mill on Thursday, and the menu was steak, baked potato, corn, and green beans. Throw in some ice cream and some cobbler and some cookies. It was a good night. Kool-Aid, lemonade, all the good stuff.
60 pounds of meat.
Yeah.
60 pounds of meat. Wow.
I was there. I was there helping serve that. I got a picture of the steaks. I got to show you how.
I'm guessing there was a funny comment in here or there.
Phil could not attend. There was no salad.
60 pounds of salad I've heard there was there. Now does Phil like the regular lettuce, or does he like the spinach type lettuce?
Spinach, of course.
Spinach, okay.
First down and 10 for the Blue Jays from the Carl Albert 17-yard line, across the 15 to the 14-yard line. Is that Troy Branson? Oh, that's Kel Kaufman. Excuse me. Kel Kaufman in at running back.
Good to see him.
Was that number 6?
Out there.
Yeah, it is. Missed a game or two due to injury.
Dane Jenkins is coming in now.
That's what 60 pounds of steak looks like.
That looks incredible, doesn't it? That's incredible. Dane Jenkins checking in, either a tight end or H-back for Parker Rainey.
Pick up 4 yards for Kel Kaufman. We want to give a big shout out to his family out in West Virginia.
Oh, are they out of state this week? Okay,
well, no,
good.
His uncles.
His uncles, very nice.
They're able to watch
West
the YouTube.
Virginia?
Yep, they watch the YouTube feed in West Virginia. Kel Kaufman, again, carry on the left side as he carries it across the 10 up to the 8-yard line. Here comes a flag, and the Carl Albert helmet falls off again.
The Mountaineers have had a tough schedule this year, haven't they? Started out with Virginia Tech, had a tough game with them.
Price Purvis says he's watching the YouTube feed in Tulsa, Oklahoma. One of our viewer in Hawaii is listening tonight. Penalty against the Titans. Couldn't get the microphone for the referee to sync up, but it's first down and goal for the Blue Jays. 9:16 to play in the ball game. First and goal from the 4-yard line. Jackson hands it off, and we're going to get a couple of yards here. Down to the 1-yard line, pickup of 3. Trying to figure out who that was. Number 20 for the Blue Jays, Turvey Williams, 6'3", 160-pound sophomore with the carry. .848. Blue Jays trying to get onto the scoreboard for the second time tonight. David Vargas had a 30-yard field goal. Jays will have 3 shots here to get into the end zone from the 1-yard line. 12 on the play clock as the Blue Jays come to the offensive line. Jackson in the shotgun. Tries the right side, hit for a loss, and another Carl Albert helmet falls off. That's unbelievable. That's about 10 times.
It is. This tells you they don't keep it on real tight, the chin straps.
It's weird.
Well, if you were to find one thing that Carl Albert does not do well, it's buckle the helmet, right?
It took us the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter to find out what they don't do well.
It took us deep into the bowels of this game before we could find anything.
They don't have a bye week to work on that either.
Is there a bowel of a game? Is that even possible? Do games have bowels?
I'm not sure. Third down and goal from the 1. Jackson tries to get in there, and he does. Touchdown, Blue Jays.
Another helmet comes off.
Blue Jays, and another helmet falls off for Carl. First time tonight, we get to strike up the band.
I have no idea how to correct this here.
Definitely not that button. It's something over here.
Yes, we got so excited that we hit about 17 buttons that none of them had anything to do with what we were trying to do.
Extra point is up and good. Blue Jays now trail the Carl Albert Times by a score of 55-10. 7:43 left in this one. Timeout from Jelsma. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
She's your mom, and you want to do your best. And at Golden Age Nursing Home and Ash Street Senior Living, we know just how difficult it is to make choices when it comes to your loved one's needs, and we can help. You'll find caring, supportive staff members and a full range of healthcare services. You'll also find a commitment to quality throughout all of our nursing home and healthcare agencies. Call Golden Age Nursing Home at 282-0144 or Ash Street Senior Living at 282-2000. You want to do your best, and so do we.
Sports, a powerful force in our society. Through sports, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes impacts the young people of our nation. Our ministry offers them faith, integrity, and values in the face of an often confusing world. What we all have in common is our love for Jesus Christ and our desire to share our faith with others. Because as long as there are sports, there will be a Fellowship of Christian Athletes. To learn more, call 1-800-289-0909 or visit fca.org.
Blue Jays in the end zone for the first time tonight. 1-yard touchdown run by Jackson Waddell as Blue Jays go 48 yards in 8 plays. So it's 7:43 to play in the fourth quarter. Carl Albert 55, Guthrie 10. That's been your John Dance Motors scoring summary. Vargas kick will be returned from inside the 5-yard line and tackled before he can get up to the 10-yard line. Nice tackle there for the Blue Jays. And the Carl Albert Hector Gooseby with the tackle. First down 10 for the Titans.
We've mentioned it several times this evening, and I think it still holds true. This Guthrie team, Phil, continuing to play as hard as they possibly can. We've seen that this entire second half.
Yeah, I mean they haven't given up one play. They played hard the entire season, running on and off the field. You know, really representing the community of Guthrie well in what's a really tough situation.
Second half has gone by pretty quick here as we have 7.5 left in the ball game. It'll lead us right up to the Terra Insure Group post-game show.
What's going to happen tomorrow in Stillwater?
That's what I was getting ready to get it to. We got the Cowboys taking on TCU. Of course, it all starts with Game Day Live at Eskimo Joe's right here on 93.7. Whistles. Timeout Titans. We'll take it with them. 7:33 left in the ball game. Carl Albert 55, Guthrie 10. This is Blue Jay football on the Blue Jay Radio Network.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 in the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
I guess every slush flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically slush headquarters.
Where sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
Well, not if Lemonberry has anything to say about it.
Oh, Lemonberry, you're already sour. Come to the sour side.
Never. I'll never join you.
Refreshment just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds candy. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
First down and 10 for the Carl Albert Titans from their own 9-yard line. Hand off up the middle to the 10. Titans for a couple of yards. And he'll get to the, we'll call it the 12, 3-yard pickup. 9:08 Central Standard Time. As I say, Guthrie Standard Time. What time's kickoff tomorrow, Case? OSU, TCU?
2:30.
2:30.
Taking
perfect kickoff time.
The 8th grade quarterback.
Okay.
Cole Whitfield with me tomorrow. And his brother Cade Whitfield, who is a junior linebacker on this Blue Jay team. Wonderful kids. Cade walked in Tuesday after Cole and I had worked out that he was going with me. He goes, Coach Porter, we need to talk. You're taking my brother to this game and not me.
Flag. Ball start, Carl Alberts.
Then he got to talking about baling hay and all that kind of stuff.
You know, my duty last night at Bible Baptist was to serve corn and green beans, and
not eat it.
Someone at corn, someone at green beans. I saw the.
You didn't get both?
Oh, you get both.
Oh, okay.
But the kids were selecting. Most of them were selecting only one of the two.
Oh, really?
I saw the farmer boy. I said, I know you want both.
Okay. They probably, the ones that only chose one probably didn't know you could get both of them.
And you know, I was serving at the United Way. A lot of people don't eat buns with their hot dogs and hamburgers anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Second down and 12 from
if
the
I
7.
do, it's separate.
Yeah, it's amazes me how many people don't eat bread with their hot dog. Is hot dog a sandwich? Just came to mind when I was serving hot dogs. No?
I would say it's on bread, so.
Midway point of this fourth quarter, Carl Albert with a 45-point lead, 55-10.
It's a hot dog.
So it's a sandwich.
It's a hot dog. Hot dogs are good enough to have their own category. Kind of like Phil is our on-field coordinator. It's its own category, right?
Third down, 14, handoff right side. A little bit of yardage across the 10. And Carl Albert will have to punt the ball away for the second time. By the way, Carl Albert Titans will be at home for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Guyman and McGinnis coming to town. And obviously the Blue Jays will be at McGinnis next week before they come back here for homecoming 2018. It'll be a fun week, Phil, come here in a couple weeks as a couple of football players will be in town.
Yeah, we're going to be celebrating the 2007 championship team, 10-year anniversary, and also the 2002 state championship Guthrie Blue Jay team going in the Hall of Fame. It's going to be a lot of fun.
How was 2007 10 years ago?
Absolutely. Gosh. Nice punt for the Titans. Marcellus Owens gets back all the way back to midfield, goes on the right side, tries to cut it up, does get across the 40. Maybe at the 39-yard line. I'm sure there'll be a lot of 2002, 2007, who's better, who's not better, Phil.
It's already started, actually. There's a couple of kids from both teams down here tonight. We had a very spirited debate down in the South End.
What does 2011, 2013 have to say about that?
Well, you know what? I think they're respecting their elders. Is what
something Phil got to do this week, right? Phil, of course, of all the wonderful things he did, he got some feedback on his on-field interviews this week, and one of the feedback was from his 94-year-old grandma, 96-year-old grandma.
Well, she's actually 93.7.
No, she's 93.7, that's right. And she said, Phil, whenever you're doing interviews, look at the camera. It's rude if you don't.
She said, Brother Ben, I really appreciate what you're doing, but that's rude to not look at the cameras.
I'm just guessing that you're going to look at the
there'll be eyes on all cameras.
First down and 10 from the 38 for the Jays. Hand off to Turvey Williams as he speeds along that left side across the 30 down to the 29, a 9-yard pickup as he hit the hole pretty quick there, did Turvey, for a 9-yard pickup. Cole Kaufman will come in, check in for Turvey.
Jackson still running the quarterback spot for the Blue Jays. You'd think he'd be out there to hand it off. Maybe that's throw it out there to give a receiver a chance.
We appreciate Phil's grandmother listening in from Eureka, Kansas. Home of Phil Nichols. Second down and 1 from the 29. Justin Adams, no, that's Kel Kaufman, excuse me, across the 25 up to the 23, 6-yard pickup for the sophomore. Plays JV quarterback for the Blue Jays. He'll play a big role as the season progresses and will take over big duties next year.
Yeah, no doubt. Of course, Jackson Waddell just a junior. So he's got the quarterback spot, man, but Kel Kaufman, good linebacker, could be a safety, H-back, receiver, whatever you want him to be, running back.
10, trying to stretch the field on the far side, not getting too much further is Jalix Webb, his first carry of the night on first down.
Jalix, one of those explosive athletes as a junior, just hasn't quite put together the whole package you need to get on the field consistently in a high school setting. His older brother, Keenan Webb, was on that 2002 team. I believe John King was his cousin. Don't quote me on that.
You shouldn't have gone there now.
Yeah, no, I opened everything up.
Because I can't help you out.
Yeah.
I have no idea. 3:03, 3:02 to play in this one. Blue Jays trail to the Titans 55-10. Jackson hands it off to Webb. Across the 25, down to the 24. If you just tune it in, Carl Everett had a 27-0 first quarter lead, and then at the break had a lead of 48-0. Carl Everett has not played their primary starters on offense or defense in the entire second half. 3rd down and 9 for the Jays. It comes at the Carl Everett 24-yard line. 3 receiver set. Webb on the left side of quarterback Jackson Waddell. Or is that Kel Kaufman, and the Wildcat might also take over quarterback duties. Kel runs a lot of quarterback. He gets to the 19-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup. Jays go for it here on 4th down. We'll call it 4.
Kale's one of those young men that's so tough that he never avoids contact, that he gets injured more than he should, because he just simply will not avoid contact ever. And then he won't ever come out because he basically doesn't feel pain.
Under 2 to play in this one. Cal Kaufman in there running quarterback duties.
With Turvey Williams on his left.
2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. 4th down and 6. Hand off to Turvey, big hole up the middle. Turvey gets across the 15, carrying a couple of Titans. As he gets to the 14, close to a first down. I think they're going to get
I think that's probably a half a yard shy, but no.
Titans take over on downs. A half
Thought
yard
there
shy.
might be some creative officiating going on there, but not quite. Now we're going to measure. See how good the chain gang is over there, huh?
Again, stay tuned after the ball game. Terra Insure Group Postgame Show. Stats, numbers, scores. This is when our listening audience increases, as Phil Nichols will make a post-game appearance.
Yeah. Have we thought better of measuring this, or are we going to go ahead and do it? Or we're going to measure. Wow.
Officials are going to work on their chain gang skills.
Yes, so.
I think someone actually took a timeout. We'll take a timeout with 1:36 left in this one. Timeout from Jelsma. This is Blue Jay Football, 93.7 FM, KSBI.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
Looking to go inside Blue Jay athletics? Log on to GuthrieSportsPage.com and get all the information on all the Blue Jay events. GuthrieSportsPage.com is your source for all Blue Jay information. Visit the ever-growing SoundCloud page and listen to pre- and post-game interviews, player spotlights, and complete game recaps. GuthrieSportsPage.com provides a link to listen to the Blue Jays streaming live over the World Wide Web and has pre- and post-game stories for your reading enjoyment. GuthrieSportsPage.com, your source for all Blue Jay information.
Blue Jays 3 inches shy of the first down, so the Carl Everett Titans will take over on downs at the 14-yard line, and a couple of knees or a couple of handoffs away in this one. If this score ends like we think it will, last 2 years the Titans have taken down the Blue Jays by a combined score of 100-17. Victory formation for the undefeated defending 5A state champion Carl Everett Titans. Of course, it comes in a shotgun like everybody else does. And a knee is there, and they'll have to do this 1, maybe 2 more times, and Blue Jays will fall to 1-4. Titans.
Caleb Sanders is linebacker for the Blue Jays. Wonderful young man. I have him in my 4th hour class. He always carries around a 1-gallon jug of water with him and drinks it everywhere he goes because he has to stay hydrated because he has a lot of muscles.
Calling Popeye.
Yeah.
Victory formation. TIG post-game show as the Blue Jay band plays on here in Jelsma. On the road next week Jays have played 3 straight games here. Doesn't get much easier. Blue Jays got to take on the Piedmont transfer at Bishop McGinnis, Dominic Richardson. Number 3 in the state Russian football. Put on 20 pounds in the offseason. Gained 3 inches as well. 6'1", 185.
We'll see if he's that big. Carl Albert sandbags their numbers, don't they?
Yeah. Dadrian Taylor was listed as 5'10", 162.
Yeah.
I would say 6 foot, 185 minimum.
Yeah, no doubt.
Formation for the Carl Albert Titans as there's 12 seconds left on the game clock. At the 6-yard line, the Titans will take a snap at the 3 and put a knee down, and that will end it. Carl Albert jumped up early and often in this one, rested their starters in the second half, and come into Jelsma, take it away from the Jays. Final score, 55. Both teams shaking hands at midfield. Take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get set for the TIG Postgame show. Carl Albert 55, Guthrie 10. This is Blue Jay football. Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI.
She's your mom, and you want to do your best. And at Golden Age Nursing Home and Ash Street Senior Living, we know just how difficult it is to make choices when it comes to your loved one's needs, and we can help. You'll find caring, supportive staff members and a whole range of healthcare services. You'll also find a commitment to quality throughout all of our nursing home and healthcare agencies. Call Golden Age Nursing Home at 282-0144 or Ash Street Senior Living at 282-2000. You want to do your best, and so do we.
For decades, Guthrie Athletics has been a source of pride in the Guthrie community. Hi, I'm Merritt Roberts, and I've been a Blue Jay supporter and Farm Bureau agent for many, many years.
I want to wish all the Guthrie student athletes not only a great season on the field, course, track, or court, but in the classroom as well. If integrity, honesty, and accessibility are important to you, call Farm Bureau at 620-4920 and ask for Merritt. I would welcome the opportunity to give you a professional evaluation of your insurance needs, or simply stop by and let's talk about the Jays.
From Jelsma Stadium, this is the Terra Insure Group postgame show, where tonight the Carl Albert Titans take away the Blue Jays home turf by a final score of 55-10. This one was over pretty quick, Casey, as Carl Albert scored in the game's first, 56 seconds, and then was back on the scoreboard less than 2 minutes later.
Yeah, and it was one of those deals to where, the first one was you run that stretch play to Dadrian Taylor, and then that Blue Jay defense has to play that run, and then you pull it out and you run that play action, then you throw it deep. And so, it's like, do you devote more guys to stop the run against a guy that's as incredible as Dadrian Taylor at running back, or, do you drop back and play pass? And because Carl Albert can do both, and do it both very well, even with the freshman Ben Harris at quarterback pulling the trigger. So, it's just darned if you do, darned if you don't. And Carl Albert has such good athletes that, it just makes it a nightmare to try to defend, and nobody's been able to do it to this point in the season.
Carl Albert finishes with 400 yards of offense tonight, 252 in the air, 148 on the ground. Jays 213 yards of offense, 40 through the air, and 173 on the ground. We'll have more stats, numbers. We'll also have our team interviews after that as we officially dive into the TIG postgame show after this timeout. Carl Albert wins at 55-10. This is Blue Jay football, 93.7 FM, KSBI.
These tenders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
Coming up next, it's the Terra Insure Group postgame show featuring stats, highlights, plays of the game, on-field interviews, and the player of the game.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
And we officially welcome you inside the Terra Insure Group postgame show alongside Phil Nichols. I'm Chris Evans as Carl Albert Titans come into Guthrie, get the victory over the Blue Jays by a final score of 55-10. Of course, in our postgame show, all of our postgame interviews are by the John Vance Auto Group. It's true. It's definitely true at John Vance Motors, I-35. It's known as the John Vance exit for sure. We appreciate it. Doing a great job as always. I'm trying to wait for our board to synchronize there. And time now to go downstairs on the field with Phil Nichols for tonight's FCA Player of the Game. And it's good to see Isaac Lewis back in uniform, Phil.
It's really great to see Isaac back, whereas Isaac is our Player of the Game tonight. Isaac, we know this is a tough night, and nobody likes to experience this. Anybody's played this game has experienced this before. But great to see you back on the field. Talk a little bit about what you need to do as a leader on this team to make sure these younger kids get their heads up and get ready for a very tough McGinnis game.
I think, I just got cleared yesterday, and I just came back today. But for what I could see, I was at every single game, and Carl Albert just played a lot faster than every other team. And we come back Monday and just get ready to go and try to tackle McGinnis coming next Friday.
Isaac, this Coach Porter up in the booth, it has to be kind of a mixed bag of emotions for you right now. Obviously, you're very disappointed. This is your senior year. It's Carl Albert at home. You're disappointed about that, but at the same time, you have to be very excited to be back on the football field.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about the emotions you're going through getting back on the field tonight.
Yeah, tonight, it sucked losing, but I had a good time the whole time. I stayed in a good mood. I was just glad to be back making plays.
Yeah, talk about, both offense and defense and what your jobs are on both sides of the ball.
Hopefully by next week I can get back to the offensive swing and start learning the plays that I've been missing out on. Tonight I was just supposed to play defense, but as the game progressed, I really wanted to play offense, so I did my best to get in there.
Yeah, and obviously you being a senior and you being through these wars before, Isaac, you're one of the leaders on this team. Phil hit on it a minute ago. The coaches can only do so much in a setting like this. Is this a situation as a senior where you sit kids down and you talk to them and make sure everything stays okay and on the right tracks?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We have a couple leaders that always try to pick it up. I know Dane. Dane's always in there trying to pick up the team. I mean, everyone pretty much keeps their head high. I think Monday coming around, we'll be good to go.
And you mentioned Monday, and I've talked to you several times, Isaac, in class, and I know that you mentioned that practices have been very, very good for this team lately.
Yes.
Talk about, the way that this team is prepared for games.
Well, the coaches really get us ready for the games by talking us up coming Monday, and it's just up to us to keep the drive going and remember that we got a game Friday.
And obviously this is just the first week of district, so you have basically your entire district ahead of you, don't you?
Yep.
So exciting times, Isaac. Congratulations on being the player of the game tonight.
Thank you.
Isaac Lewis, tonight's FCA Player of the Game. Of course, all the interviews brought to you by the John Vance Motor Group. Carl Albert comes in and wins it over the Blue Jays. Final score 55-10. Come up here, we have a score around the state of Oklahoma. We'll also have our interview with Blue Jay head coach Kelly Beebe, as the Titans, the mighty Titans, are a pretty good ball club.
Pretty good ball. They are fast, big, fast, physical.
Yeah, they've
talented,
and they played a good schedule. Lawton, Ada, Ardmore, now Guthrie. So they'll have Guyman next week, and then a showdown between Carl Albert and McGinnis. McGinnis able to get a little bit of distance with Woodward. It was a 7-7 ball game now. McGinnis leads that game now 25-7. That last score reporting in the third.
I don't see McGinnis sticking around with this team.
They're talented. Yeah, absolutely, they're talented. So with that, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we're going to hear from Blue Jay head coach Kelly, get his thoughts on tonight's setback, and look forward to next week's matchup with McGinnis. Get his thoughts after this timeout. This is the Terra Insure Group postgame show.
You step out of the storm shelter and your home has taken a direct hit. You went online and found a policy, but you can't remember who the carrier is. Now, your roof is torn off and your belongings are scattered all over the neighborhood. Where are you going to stay tonight? How do you begin the process of cleaning up? Terra Insurance Group is Guthrie's local one-stop shop for all your insurance needs. The agents at TIG all live within this community and will be there after the sale when you need them the most. Call Terra Insurance Group at 293-4880 or stop by our offices at 2403 South Division across from the Beacon Drive-In.
We bring you more from the stadium as the Terra Insure Group postgame show continues.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital of Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
Welcome back, Jelsma Stadium, historic downtown Guthrie. This is the Terra Insure Group postgame show. Terra Insure Group located 2403 South Division, right across the street from the Beacon Drive-In. We invite you to go by there and check them out. Dennis and Jason do a great job out there. You can visit them online as well at tigok.com. More about them here in a little bit. We continue our on-field interviews brought to you by the John Vance Auto Group. With that, let's go downstairs with Phil Nichols, who is with Blue Jay head coach Kelly Beebe.
Guys, I am here with head football coach Kelly Beebe. Coach, obviously this isn't anything anybody enjoys, but kid played hard, competed. Getting Isaac back on the field, he played well. Let's talk about this, and more importantly, going forward.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the fans that came out tonight. We had a great crowd here, great support, and that means a lot to the boys. If you just boil it right down, we were pretty well manhandled by a superior football team tonight. Our kids were aware of where they needed to be and just had trouble getting there. Carl Albert is they're on top of the mountain right now. They're senior loaded, and they've got a great chance to repeat. They're also a class act. The way they handled the ball game in the second half. For 14 years, we've been on a lot of those, it's a credit to the Coach Corley and his staff of how that game was handled, and it allowed our boys to come out and get a little bit of confidence going and execute a little bit of offense, defense, special teams. So we'll try to rebound from that and get the film on them against them and get going next week. The road doesn't get any easier.
Coach, you mentioned as far as getting some first downs and scoring and all that kind of thing, and I know the game plan was to run the ball, keep the clock moving, reduce the amount of possessions in this game. In the second half, you guys did a great job of that. You chewed up on your first drive, the offense did, 6 minutes off the clock, so that was good to see.
Both sides of the ball, we knew that if we didn't put enough numbers in the box to stop their run game, that we had no opportunity to be successful. And the old freshman quarterback, he threw some darts tonight to some outstanding receivers. 3 on the quick game is so explosive and fast, and then 25 over the top. We had pretty good one-on-one coverage with him, as good as we could do without unloading the box and allowing 16 to run wild. And it's a pick-your-poison kind of deal. I'm not sure how many carries he got, but, we had the long run on the counter play, and then we gave up, some short fields, the long kickoff return to start the game, and the strip fumble and the pick six. There's a lot of things that need to be corrected. A lot of things a little bit, and a lot of things, just the opponent we were playing. So, I told him in the huddle real quick. It's guys, the difference between good and great or average and good, is about an inch. If you're holding your fingers up, and you got to strive for that daily. And your weight room work, your sprints, your practice effort, your film study, all those type of things. If you want to ascend up to that top level right there, and that's where we're at. We're trying to climb to that level, and we've got a ways to go. But the coaches are committed, the town's committed, and the boys are committed. So we're going to get our lunch box and our hard hat, and we're going to go to work on Monday coaches will be to work in the morning, but we'll bring the kids in on Monday, and we'll try to get a McGinnis.
Well, Coach, congratulations on as far as the second half and the way that these kids continue to play hard tonight. I know that if you've ever been a coach and you coach long enough, these situations happen, but I wanted to congratulate you on the fact that your kids played really hard all the way through that, and that was very obvious, and the community at Guthrie should be very proud of that.
The town is what we play for. These kids grow up here, and they want to be a part of this, and we want to put the best product on the field we can, and we will not continue. We'll be tireless in our effort to improve, and hope everybody just keeps backing these young men, and better things ahead.
Coach, we appreciate your time here, and next week on the road at McGinnis.
Absolutely. We thank you guys for all you do.
Head Coach Kelly Beebe joining us here for our post-game interview, of course, brought to you by the John Vance Auto Group. Obviously, not the easiest interviews to do, and you just got to move forward. I mean, you knew going in how talented Carl Albert was, but they're a little bit better than I thought.
Well, and the reason why I wanted to say that, it's easy to try hard and do things right whenever you're winning games 62-0, and everything's coming easy to you. It's not easy to play as hard as the Guthrie Bluejays did in the second half whenever you're faced with the amount of adversity that this team was and just getting manhandled. And I was extremely, extremely proud of the way that this coaching staff got these kids to continue to play hard, continue to represent this program and all the people that have played in it and this community the way that they did in the second half by the way that they played. So I thought that was outstanding. You move on to next week with McGinnis. It does not get any easier. And then you set yourself up for the last 5 games of the season, which should all be very winnable.
Yeah, again, we talk about the first 5 games. You got to get, you might be 1-4, you might be 2-3. It's going to be tough.
I think 2 and 3 was probably the over/under number for most people in Guthrie. Would you agree?
But after you get, absolutely. But after you get those 5 games, how are the Jays going to be mentally? Because they will be favorites in their last 5 games. But it will be a challenge as well. But of course, you got to go on the road a lot tonight as well. But those last 5 games are all winnable. You might be favorites in all 5. You win those 5 games, you're in the playoffs.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. Well, and if you win more than likely 4 of those 5 games, at least you're in. But we know how good Ardmore is. They lost only 28-14 last week to this Carl Albert team. So you darn sure don't want to finish 4th, because I'm pretty confident that Ardmore is going to finish 1st, and then it's going to be a race between Altus, maybe a Lawton Mac for a 2nd place. But those teams are beatable.
Yes.
So you got to. You're in if you probably win 4 out of 5 of those, but you want to win all 5 and finish, in the 2nd or 3rd spot.
Yeah.
If you don't win next week. If you don't win next week, that puts you in the 3rd spot if you win all 5 of them. That's what you want to do, going to an Altus or a Lawton Mac instead of an Ardmore. Not that those teams aren't outstanding.
Right.
But I think Ardmore is exceptional this year, and I think that showed last week in the game they played against Carl Albert.
Yeah, it looks like it's a 1-2. Then that leaves Guthrie, Woodward.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Guthrie, Woodward?
Guthrie will be a substantial underdog next week. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. And the running, McGinnis will have the Piedmont transfer who's in the top 3-4 in the state of Oklahoma rushing the football.
Yeah.
And he's only getting better.
The deal is, though,
I remember on the huddle I said he's my player of the year to watch out for.
And the biggest reason why that is because he is their number 1, and some people say their only weapon. And I don't want to say their only weapon because they're good across the board.
Brendan Mullins, the quarterback, is pretty good.
Right, but when I say only weapon, I mean Carl Albert has 7 or 8 guys that are all the same. It wouldn't matter who you give the ball to. Whereas I think you're going to see next week that Richardson, big number 1, is substantially better than anybody else they have. Not that the rest of the players they have aren't good,
right? But
he's going to stand out.
And McGinnis is without their top offensive lineman, Owen Condon, who's committed to Georgia. He's out with a knee injury. So
and he plays some defense too.
Yeah, so it'll be an interesting ball game next week at McGinnis. And again, McGinnis is in
outdoors. It better not rain, and it better not be cold or windy.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be that too. So,
really?
Next, it starts, I think, Tuesday, 70s, 60s, and rain, 60, 70% chance of rain. So I haven't seen Friday's forecast, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, rain.
Out of doors. Can we make it indoors in there somewhere?
With our coaches. Box in the state of Oklahoma. Don't even get me going, Porter, because I'm starting to warm up.
Yeah.
They just remodeled that.
So
not too
our
long
two
ago.
choices
I can't believe I'm talking about this on the radio.
Our two choices are either indoors, right? You're turning red.
I am. McGinnis, they know I don't like that either. I don't know what.
Come in and out and trip over all our wires plugged in, and then a phone line or something's going to come unplugged, and you're going to have to go all Doc Brown on it in your overcoat and try to splice everything together.
We can only
at the last minute to get us on the air.
And we can only use 20% of our equipment.
93.7 of our equipment's not available.
Yeah, absolutely. I need a break. I need a.
They built this beautiful facility, and everything's new with brick facades, and then they built a press box that you can't even get a radio crew in.
8 people can get in there. We need to take a timeout. Carl Albert wins it here tonight. Final
They
score.
do have a ladder, though, right?
55. They do have. Yeah, we got. Yeah, you got to
We
carry those heavy cases up
that
the ladder.
That metal ladder. Is that right?
I fit last year. I don't know if I can fit this year.
We got to carry all that stuff up the ladder so we can freeze on top of that press box.
You are muted. Timeout. You're muted. We're going to take a timeout here on the TIG postgame show. We're going to take a look at some final stats and numbers as well as some games around the state of Oklahoma and come back here at Jelsma. This is the Terra Insure Group postgame show.
Powerful force in our society. Through sports, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes impacts the young people of our nation. Our ministry offers them faith, integrity, and values in the face of an often confusing world. What we all have in common is our love for Jesus Christ and our desire to share our faith with others. Because as long as there are sports, there will be a Fellowship of Christian Athletes. To learn more, call 1-800-289-0909 or visit fca.org.
Don't go away. More of the Terra Insure Group postgame show in a moment.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet. Just a short drive to I-35 and the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
Terra Insure Group postgame show continues here inside Jelsma Stadium. Phil Nichols, Casey Porter, Chris Evans with you. Be sure to stop by TIGOK.com. And, boy, they got everything. Usually your insurance will do with auto and maybe a house in there, but the services TIG offer are way beyond that. Of course, they got the auto, but they got watercraft, landlord's insurance, renter's insurance, classic auto insurance, motorcycle insurance, farm and ranch, mobile home, business, and of course life insurance as well. That's the good thing about TIG, and they have several companies working for them, and they can put your numbers into the computer, and you can do that as well on TIGOK.com and give you the best quote possible from a variety of great insurance out there, and they give you the best offer. Again, go by there, 2403 South Division, right across from the Bacon Drive-In. Give them a call first thing Monday morning, 293-4880. That's Seth Robbins. Be glad to take your phone call. Jason Herzl, Dennis Oaks, the voice of the Blue Jays inside Jelsma Stadium. All will be glad to take your phone call, and we appreciate them for several years now here on the TIG postgame show. Here tonight, the Carl Albert Titans scored early and often as they had a 27-0 lead after quarter number 1. At halftime, it was 48-0. Titans did not go with majority of their starters both offensively and defensively there in that second half as the Blue Jays were able to get into the end zone one time. Jackson Waddell had a 1-yard touchdown run, and David Vargas, who remains perfect on the season on field goals, hit a 30-yard field goal to get the Blue Jays on the scoreboard in the third quarter. Those were the two scores tonight for the Blue Jays. We're going to take our final timeout. When we come back, we're having equipment malfunction here. We need to get one more break here. And we'll go ahead and take our final timeout here. Come back, get some quick scores from the state of Oklahoma, particularly here in district play. And we'll come back and wrap it up here tonight. Final score, Carl Albert 55, Guthrie 10. This is Guthrie football on Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI.
When it comes to Guthrie Bluejay Athletics, Hayes Funeral Home is a proud supporter from the first game all the way to the championship game. Along with many years of experience in funeral service, the Hayes family brings compassion and professional service during difficult times. Owners Chuck and Lynette Hayes take pride in providing families and their loved ones quality care. Chuck and Lynette have not only supported families in the Guthrie area for countless years, but have supported Guthrie student athletes succeeding on the playing field and in the classroom. Hayes Funeral Home is located on the corner of Noble and Wentz, or simply give them a call at 405-282-3100.
Final thoughts from the stadium are ahead on the Terra Insure Group postgame show.
At Terra Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans, Jason Herzl, Dennis Oakes, and Seth Robbins. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
Final segment here on the Terra Insure Group post-game show as the Miles 55-10. Appreciate you listening across North Central Oklahoma on Hot 93.7 FM KSB. I'm sure we got a lot of Carl Albert fans listening to the broadcast on their way back to Midwest City. And, of course, streaming worldwide, Guthrie Sports page and GuthrieNewsPage.com. Carl Albert, talented and deep, and we really didn't get the chance to really talk about their secondary. It was all about their offense tonight. They were on the field majority of the night, but Carl Albert's got several athletes on an 11-1 defending 5A state championship ball club. Let me ask you this, though, or tell you this. Carl Albert has won 10 state championships, those under Gary Rose.
Yeah.
Of those 10 state championships, Carl Albert Titans have never gone undefeated.
Yeah. Kind of like you remember when Rafe had won a couple here but never won the district.
Right.
It's just kind of one of those deals to where, of course, you know, there were how many years did Carl Albert lose 2 games in non-district because they played such a difficult schedule and or they were setting this or that up. So Coach Rose has always played for the postseason.
Yeah.
And obviously Coach Corley does as well, and all the coaches for Carl Albert, and they do such a wonderful job. But you know, that's been a situation where they played some really tough non-district games and lost a game or two. I believe one year they were 0-2 to start out with, that they won a state title with, or stayed really close to. So, yeah, obviously going undefeated is something that Carl Albert's never done, and I think
this is
my opinion. Well, I don't know if it's their year. You can't ever say that, but I think they're going to be favored in every game they play.
Well, they will be favored in every game.
Well, so they're
shocked
favored to go undefeated.
I don't know who would be favored.
People who haven't seen what I'm trying to say is people who haven't seen both teams. There will be a person or two next week that picks McGinnis.
That's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. They haven't seen Carl Albert yet if they're picking McGinnis.
Are you going to ask 50 McGinnis fans, or what are we doing here?
There will be somebody that picks McGinnis.
We'll have them tested afterwards. That's how good Carl Albert is. I was very
They're so well coached. They can play in space. They can play in a phone booth. They can play offense. They can play defense. You know, they can stretch you. They can out-tough you.
Only question is what quarterback will they play? That's my only question, I guess, left here tonight. We'll see. So there's still a lot of football left to play. Some scores in District 5A2 real quick. Piedmont shuts out Northwest Madison 55-0. El Reno held close, but Ardmore right now has a 30-13 lead. Back in the district play, it was a 7-7 ball game, but McGinnis now leads Woodward by a score of 32-7. Altus goes on the road and beats Del City 24-21.
Yeah, see, those teams down there, man, when you get past Ardmore, it's interesting.
Noble shuts out McAllister 41-0. Noble's 4-0. McAllister's 0-4. New times.
Yeah. Noble's had some sporadic years where they've been okay.
I knew there was one more district game. At Lawton Eisenhower tonight, Guyman made the trip down there, and Lawton Eisenhower was in that game. Score 61-0.
Did Guyman spend more time in Oklahoma or more time in Texas?
I'm going to guess Oklahoma.
You don't think they dropped down through Amarillo? And
they got there, and they get the places really early, too. So
you're saying they came up here through Oklahoma City?
I don't think they went in Texas. I don't know, but I would guess. Is that the only thing you care about the Guyman Lawton Eisenhower game? Is how they got there?
Absolutely. If they went and got a 72-ounce steak at whatever that place is in Amarillo.
You don't want to break down to 4-3. You want to know how they got there.
I don't know what defense Guyman runs. Don't insult my intelligence as to thinking that I do.
We don't play them to week 10. You take some time off on that assignment.
I'm just joking.
We need to get out of here. It's been a long night.
The dugout's where you sit down and your feet dangle.
Absolutely. Carl Albert wins it tonight. Final score, final time, 55-10. Carl Albert, perfect 4-0 and big favorites to win the 5A title. And a lot of Guthrie fans saw that up close and personal, and we'll just deal with them next year when we see them.
Is that a wrap?
That is a wrap. A big thank you to Jordan back in our Stillwater studio. Her first go-around. Very appreciate her helping us out on the broadcast. And, of course, a big thank you to Kevin Roach, our video coordinator, with the YouTube feed there. Had a little bit of a issue at the beginning, but we were able to work
through it. Was not his fault.
It wasn't. Oh, yeah, correct. It was not his fault, but he was able to work his magic and get us on the air. And, of course, Craig Fleck on the stats and the inside information he brings us each and every week. Coordinator. Our next broadcast will be 1 week from tonight from Bishop McGinnis High School on campus of the Irish at Pregame Stadium. Blue Jays take on the Irish. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Our pregame show begins at 6:30 p.m. right here on 93.7 FM KSBI and, of course, worldwide on Guthrie Sports page and Guthrie News page. For my partners, Bill Nichols, Kate Porter, I'm Chris Evans. Have a great week, and as always, go Blue Jays.
You've been listening to Guthrie Blue Jay football on the Guthrie Radio Network, home of the 4-time state champions. Guthrie Blue Jay football 2017 is brought to you by Terra Insure Group, insuring your world. Interbank, what's going on now? Golden Chick, the original and still the best. John Vance Auto Group, where it's comfortable to buy a car. Mercy, your life is our life's work. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the toughest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Eskridge Chevrolet, a name you can trust for over 50 years. Brought to you by F&M Bank, Merritt Roberts, Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Sonic on Highway 33 and I-35, Guthrie Tag Agency, and Hayes Funeral Home.
It's like everything gets tired at night. The drop frames. No, it's iPad. It's drop frames, microphones. Yeah. Take him home?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
He can't spend the night, so do not ask.
Okay.
He has a game early.
So
Thank you.
You bet. Yeah, I end up with 3,748, but it's like 25 at halftime.
Really?
I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Do you have some kind of deal that you can just put on there for 5 minutes?
Hold on, Jacob.
Did you leave? Okay. Oh, okay. We were going to do a Game Day Live segment. We'll make sure you are. Okay.
Get it recorded on here.
Yeah. 3 hours and 36 minutes.